Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom deadline streams, a Friday one. It's been a while, it's been like 2-3 months since we had a Friday game, but we've got one tonight with Crystal Palace taking on Spurs. There is a poll in both the YouTube and the TikTok chat right now for the best captain for Game Week 10, so if you want to get your votes in for that, see who everyone else is thinking. Maybe that's going to influence your decision, maybe it's not, maybe you're one of those people that's a bit of a sheep, you follow the crowd, or maybe you're a bit of an introvert and you want to go for someone else. Maybe just put your vote in, see what happens. If you do have any questions as well throughout the stream, either on YouTube or on TikTok, do get them in as we'll try to answer as many as we possibly can. And of course, we will be reviewing teams live on the stream, as we always do in these deadline streams. So if you do want to send me your team to be reviewed live on the YouTube stream at FPLTom_, go to my pinned tweet on Twitter, leave your team there, and we will review quite a lot of those later in the stream. For the fast few, I think we've got through pretty much everybody's team, to be honest. So, you know, if you do want to send me them, do it there. As well, if you want to like, support the channel, you know, follow, all that good stuff. I don't need to tell you guys, but yeah, if you want to like, you know, follow, subscribe, TikTok, whatever you want to do, just go for it. It does push the channel out to more people, which is always what we like to see. But yeah, it's been an interesting week. It's been an interesting week. It feels like Game Week 10, there's been a big shift away from kind of the template in FPL, and there is now kind of I don't know how to best describe it, but a kind of difference. Maybe that's probably not the best word to use, but it does feel like there's a big difference kind of splitting, to be honest, with the FPL community. People going without Haaland, people going without Watkins. There's a huge divide, and we will get onto my team as well, where I think I've also created a little bit of a divide. But yeah, if you're enjoying the content, like I said, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and get your questions in ahead of Game Week 10 deadline. There we go. Got through there in the end. Josh AFC, he's in the YouTube chat, a regular. Hi, mate. How you doing? What's your team looking like? And let me know if you're having any dilemmas today and what you're thinking for your captaincy as well, as there is a poll going around on YouTube and on TikTok as well. Someone in the TikTok chats asked my opinions on Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, I really hate Sheffield Wednesday. No kind of positive reaction towards them, to be honest. You know, one of their players racially abused a Mansfield player a few years ago. Not great. Nearly got squashed when I went there the other year. Again, not great. So yeah, a Doji starting? Not at the moment. Yeah, don't know. We don't know. We're all kind of waiting, to be honest. It was Forestieri was the player. The news on a Doji, yeah, we're still kind of waiting. Hopefully we can get some early team news, but kind of the press conference comments from Postecoglou were kind of around whether or not basically he was going to train and whether or not he was going to train to an effective level. So yeah, depends. James asked, how's it going, mate? Any plans / dates for the weekend? Definitely no dates. Come on. We're above that. We're above that. We're going to go try and do some filming tomorrow at Ellen Road. We're going to do some like live, like giving away money, like quiz type thing. We tried it yesterday in Leeds. Didn't go to plan. I was literally going up to people and going like, oh, you know, would you like a tenner? All you got to do is like answer some questions. Being extremely polite. Just going up to people going like, oh yeah, you know, would you like a tenner? Just answer some questions. No one wanted a tenner, so we're going to go to Ellen Road tomorrow, try and get some people on camera and do some like stuff on TikTok, like some quizzes and kind of like guess the player type stuff. So yeah, that'll be good. I did go for the -4 in the end, Josh, in the YouTube chat. We will get onto my team shortly. So if you are on the TikTok stream and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, see how my team is looking, the best thing that you can do is switch over to YouTube. I can read the comments a little bit easier as well, as the chat is a little bit kind of slower, to be honest, so I definitely think it does help. Also, when we do review teams live on Twitter later, then as well it will be on screen. Zach's already sent me his team on Twitter, so if you want to send me your team at FPLTom_ on Twitter, go over there, leave your team under the pinned tweet, and we will review those a little bit later. Kieran's asked, who's a must-own this week? I'd probably say like Watkins, arguably Matty Cash as well. That Luton fixture is absolutely incredible. I think Salah's going to have a really good game, so arguably he's verging on the word, you know, must have for this week. And then the rest, I think it's kind of up to you, to be honest. Like Haaland, Alvarez, these players you could go without, you could have them. even Watkins to some extent, he is on a really, really good patch. And I've brought him into my team this week. But I do think he is one of those players that, there's so much difference going off at the moment in the game that I feel everyone kind of is flowing around with different picks. Someone's asked Alvarez to Watkins for a -4. I don't personally see it, to be honest. I'd only do that if I was going to captain Watkins. Captain Salah, Watkins or Saka. I'd probably go Salah, Watkins, Salah in that order. Bowen and Trippier or Son and Van der Veen. I'd probably go the Bowen option, to be honest. Where do I rate West Ham? As a club, they're all right. I don't have any kind of problems with them. In terms of FPL, there's definitely some tasty assets to be going for. Bowen, Areola as well, a popular pick in goal for a lot of people, really cheap playing as well. Adoji or Palmer to start. I'd probably go Cole Palmer, to be honest, over Adoji. We definitely don't know he's going to play at the moment. If we get early team news, then obviously that will change. So hopefully we can get some of that because it is impacting my team as well at the moment. So we are going to review my team. Obviously the deadline today is at 6:30, so we're going to be alive for about 2.5 hours. So like I said, if you're on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube chat. It runs a little bit slower. I can run through your questions as well. But yeah, we will try to answer as many as we can. And we will be reviewing teams on Twitter at FPLTom_. And yes, I am a Mansfield fan. I've seen that fly up about 5 times. But yeah. Last question before we move on to my team. Swap Nunes for Watkins. I don't think I would, I thought Nunes looked quite bright last night. Obviously, there was the big miss that was kind of trending around on Twitter, but he came off early. So I do think he will start at the weekend. So I definitely don't think I would be, worth swapping him, to be honest. But let's dive into the main screen for this deadline. And let's take a look at how my team is looking. So if you're on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, see how my team is getting on for this week, come over. We have taken a -4, but we will run through that. So in goal, we're starting off with Areola. Him and Turner have been my goalkeepers since my Game Week 8 wildcard. Matty Cash, very happy to have him for the Luton fixture. Gabriel is a player that I've bought in this week. Went with Botman on the wildcard, kind of over the comments that Eddie Howe made about potentially Botman being back after the international break. So I thought, he would be at least fit for Game Week 9. That isn't the case. It looks more likely that it's going to be around the 9th, 10th of 11th of November, which is not great. So I've brought in Gabriel. Some really good fixtures for Arsenal. It looks like he's lodged himself back into the main team as well for Arsenal, which is really good to see. So happy to have him in the team. Currently, we have Charlie Taylor playing the 1-point magnet. After I swore last week that I'd never play this fraud again, he's made it back in. Mainly down to the Adoji thing. If we get early team news that Adoji is playing, then obviously that one will just switch around for the time being. Moving into the midfield, we're going to start off with Diaby. Now, there is a little bit of concern around Diaby. I brought him in for the wild card. I've had him for a few weeks. It's been a little bit frustrating. I do think there are attacking returns to come, but at the moment, obviously Bailey's come in, he came off the bench, scored, had a really good performance yesterday in the Europa Conference League, scoring yet again. So is Diaby's place up for grabs, or is he going to see a potential early substitution if he's not doing anything in the game? Probably. So I think after this week, I might have to sell him, which is a little bit of a concern. But, for this week, hopefully he plays. It's a really good fixture, Luton at home for Aston Villa. They're really good, strong side at home as well. So you would back, Diaby, Watkins, all these players to do extremely well. Bowen, happy to have him in after his performance against Aston Villa. Matoma is a transfer. We've taken out Maddison and gone for Matoma to free up funds to bring in Ollie Watkins up front. But, the Brighton fixtures are extremely good. I definitely would be recommending a Brighton player if that was kind of the route you wanted to go down. The next 4 fixtures are absolutely immense. You've got players like Matoma, Adinga, whose kind of competition on that right-hand side has kind of disappeared over the past 2 weeks. You've obviously looking at Solly March. Looks like he's out with a long-term injury. And then you have, is it Bonanetto? De Zerbi said a quote today about him potentially missing a training session as well. So I don't think he's going to play at the weekend either. Salah captain. I think that's pretty self-explanatory for this week. And then we've gone with Son as well as our final midfielder. The front two up front, we've got Haaland and Watkins. Watkins has come in for Rasmus Højlund. So my free transfers this week have been Gabriel for Botman, Matoma for Maddison, and Watkins for Højlund. And on the bench, Turner, Adoji, Archer, and Gahey. But yeah, that's the team. That's how we're looking at the moment. Let's have a read through some more of your guys' questions. Saka is missing from my team. Yeah, he is, but the only way I could get to Saka realistically was if I took out Son, and I just don't really fancy doing that, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Someone in the TikTok chat's gone for Watkins captain. Start Neto, Simicast, or Burn. Who have Wolves got this week? Because it's pressing my mind, and I should know. Should know, but I don't. It's quite a difficult fixture, is it not? Is it Newcastle? I want to say Newcastle. So I'd probably go Simicast out of those lot. Should I captain Haaland or Son? That's a difficult one. I mean, Palace aren't bad. Like, they're not a bad defence, to be honest. Before that 4-0 game, they kept 3 clean sheets. They were one of the top defences for XG conceded. Got a really good home defensive record as well. So, it's a difficult one. United's as well. It's a makeshift back line. You've got Johnny Evans. You've got Maguire. That's a really tough call. I'd probably go off form and probably say Son. But, like, it could honestly go either way, that one, to be honest. What other questions? Should I bench João Pedro or Darwin? I mean, who else have you got in your team, Thomas, for that to be kind of a scenario, to be honest? Because I'd want to play both of them, to be honest. Really good fixtures for both. Nottingham Forest and Fulham, both home fixtures. I expect both players to play as well. Hello, Hoyland or Adinga to start? I'd go Adinga, to be honest. Do you think it's okay if I don't have Haaland in my team? It's one of them. Obviously, like, people like FPL Raptor have gone without him and have so far, kind of survived. Haaland's not really done anything. I think teams have potentially figured him out a little bit as well. So that makes things a little bit more interesting. And I definitely think there is scope if you feel that, building with that budget, getting players like Trippier, stacking that midfield out, Son, Saka, Maddison, Salah, all those big name players is going to outscore Haaland. Then there's definitely kind of room and argument to be had that going without Haaland does make sense. Personally, for me and my team, I think it doesn't, so I've kept him. But I definitely think if he continues to disappoint in the next few weeks, there is argument to potentially go without him. Doji injured. Yeah, apparently he came off in the game on Monday night with a kind of strain, not a pull, which is kind of a big difference. So we're kind of waiting for any kind of positive early team news that he is going to be starting. Obviously, the big kind of debate around that is, with Adoji, whether or not he's going to play or whether or not he's going to come off the bench. Like I said, it is all early team news dependent. From Postecoglou's quotes, it's all dependent on how he trained today and yesterday. That was when the quote came out. Thoughts on Harry Maguire after his insane run of form and Manchester United's good fixture run? Yeah, they're really good after the City game. You're looking at it, Fulham, Luton, Everton, definitely a cheap defensive option. I think that, easily could enable some top quality players, and then probably after that point you are going to maybe want to bench him or sell him, but I think for 4.2 million for those fixtures after the City game, I think he's definitely a good option to go for. Lyle Foster or Dan Burn? I think I'd go Lyle Foster. Obviously, Bournemouth, Neto is injured, who's been their captain and goalkeeper, and probably arguably one of their best players outside of Dominic Solanke and probably Philip Billing this season. So, might be playing Mark Travers as well in goal. He's come back from loan, or it's going to be Radu. So there might be a little bit of scope, maybe a bit of shakiness in between the sticks. So I think I'd go with Lyle Foster. Thomas Palmer sent me his team: Areola, Porro, Cash, Trippier, Son, Maddison, Salah, Saka, Diaby. Forwards, Watkins. Don't know whether or not to play João Pedro or Darwin. Okay, here's your team. Oh, I see why you're having some difficulties, to be honest, man. I think I'd go Darwin. But it's really difficult to say. But I think I'd go Darwin. Hey John, how's it going, mate? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good too. João Pedro hat-trick this week, someone said in the TikTok chat. I don't doubt it, to be honest. It could easily happen. Juan Hee-chan or Colwell, I think that was. I'd probably go Colwell. Dan Burn, a good pick. I mean, at the moment, he's playing every single game. I think Newcastle's longer-term fixtures do become a little bit shaky. You're looking at Arsenal in game week 11, Chelsea and United and Spurs all to come within the next 6 or 7. So I think longer-term, probably not. Probably want to start to maybe be looking at people like Crystal Palace defenders, Brighton defenders, these players with really good runs. Gabriel, for the same price, I think is a better pick than Dan Burn as well, to be honest. Darwin or Adoji, I'd be leaning more towards Darwin at the current time. Is Kufal injured? Yeah, apparently according to David Moyes, he's not trained. Him and Fabianski, I think. I think Fabianski's was illness, and I can't quite remember off the top of my head what Kufal's was, but I think he is going to miss the game. Let me just double check that for you. Make sure to send me your teams as well, guys, at FPLTom_ on Twitter. Go to my pin tweet, leave your team there, and yeah, we will try and review as many teams as we possibly can. But let's find this quote about Sufal or Kufal, however you want to pronounce it. Let's find this quote. It just says Kufal missed out on last night's UEL match with illness. So that's the quote. So they play Sunday, so maybe he'll be back. You know, it's not an injury. It's just whether or not he's going to be able to, like, manage. So yeah, that's that one. Luis Diaz or Bowen? I'd lean more towards Bowen. Matoma, yeah, I'm all for Matoma, to be honest. Oh, who do I start, Kufal or Doji? I'd see if we get early team news. If we get early team news, then I'd go a Doji. But if we don't, then I'd probably lean in more towards Kufal. Any Matoma news? No, he's fine. He's fit. That's about it. That's all I've got for you. Watkins, Salah, Haaland owner here. Liverpool fan too. Going Watkins captain this week. Lovely fixture. Forest won't be an easy game. Expect a very tough game. I mean, Liverpool are at home though. You would have to back them. And Forest, they're probably a little bit downbeaten after conceding 2 against Luton. Like, they were cruising in that game, comfortably controlling it, and then just bottled it, to be honest. So I definitely think there is room where, you know, Liverpool could exploit them this weekend. Am I crazy? Maddison and Son to Saka and Odegaard. I think I would keep Son out of the two. I think Maddison, for me, I watched the game on Monday night, and I don't know whether or not this was mainly down to Basuma kind of being suspended. But at times, Maddison was coming so deep for the ball, kind of playing as like a little bit like a quarterback, distributing the play, bringing the play forward, you know, progressing the ball up the pitch. And it's just not really what you want to see from kind of an FPL kind of asset, to be honest. You want to have it where, you know, a player's just up front, hanging around the goal, picking up points, happy days. But he was a little bit further back, so it wasn't ideal, to be honest. So I think Maddison probably would be the one that I would go with, overtaking Son out, and I'd do it to Saka over Odegaard, to be honest. Brighton defenders worth it? Yeah, I think they are. It's just finding the right one. Obviously, Lewis Dunk is quite expensive. I think Igor's probably my top pick I would potentially go for. Yes, I do rate teams. At FPLTom_ on Twitter, if you want your team rating, we'll do that a little bit later. If you're on the TikTok stream as well, and you want to come over and see my team right now, at FPLTom on YouTube, type it in, come over to the stream, subscribe to the channel because we're trying to hit 2,500 subs on here. Trying to hit, you know, 7,500 by the end of the month on TikTok. We're about 100 away, so if you want to help us out, it would be massively appreciated. All likes, comments, and all that good stuff as well is massively appreciated by me. But do keep the questions coming in, guys. And like I said, we will be rating teams a little bit later on the stream, on the YouTube stream. So if you want to send them to me at FPLTom_, leave it under my pin tweet, and then I will review it a little bit later for you guys. Simicast, I think, is a really good option for this week. Thoughts on Anthony Gordon? Yep, really happy to have him. I think he's a great enabler at 5.8 now, is he at? So yeah, I definitely wouldn't kind of snub my nose towards Anthony Gordon. Thinking of Trent, Saka out, Slabhead and Salah in after this game week if I roll the transfer. Thoughts? Why would you be taking Saka out? I think the Arsenal fixtures are really good. Obviously next week they've got Newcastle, but after that I think are quite long term pretty good. It's whether or not you think like you desperately need Mohamed Salah, I think is the big kind of debate. Whether or not you think you need that, that's up to you. That's up to you. Personally, I don't think I'd be taking Saka out for Salah. That's just my personal opinion. Bruno as a differential over Saka, just in case he's injured. Where was that question? Need some more context for that question. Do I play Tsimikas or Porro? I would probably play Tsimikas with Liverpool being at home. That would be my opinion there. Best captaincy option, I'd probably go Salah, Watkins, Haaland, Son in that order. Is Adoji starting? We don't know yet. We're still waiting for early team news. Hopefully we get some of that before the deadline. Hopefully someone finds out. Don't have a Villa asset. And Mbeumo to Diaby or Matoma. I probably, John, would be leaning more towards Matoma. I know you don't have any Villa assets. And arguably you'd want them for this game week. But with Diaby and Bailey kind of coming back into form, I'm a little bit sceptical about his long-term kind of starting place in the team, whether or not his minutes are going to be affected as well. Maybe Bailey doesn't start this game, but because of the form he's in, if Villa need a goal, I could see Diaby easily being brought off, to be honest. So, yeah. Any early team news? No, not yet. We're still waiting for early team news. Still waiting for early team news. I was thinking Porro over Tsimikas. Porro will get more minutes. Arguably true. Obviously, Tsimikas did have a rest, though, on Thursday night, so should be able to go all the way. I get what you mean, though. Obviously came off in the 61st minute, which wasn't great, was it, in the last game? So we'll see how that one goes. Worth bringing in Matoma for Maddison next week? Yeah, definitely. I've done it this week, so, you know, I can't really argue against that. But yeah, I definitely think it is. And someone has just absolutely coughed their lungs up outside my flat. So I hope they're all right. I hope they're not dying. Shall I swap Bowen out for Diaby and captain Watkins or Salah? Nah, I wouldn't swap Bowen out. West Ham's fixtures are really good, so I won't be doing that. And then captaincy choice is really up to you. Whether or not you fancy Mohamed Salah or kind of Watkins this week, I think it's more down to like a gut feeling rather than kind of which player you think. Like, both of them are doing extremely well over the past few weeks, and I honestly, genuinely believe it could go either way with those two. So go where your gut is. That's kind of what my intuition is more leaning towards. I think this week there's a plethora of good captaincy options, and yeah. Did you use your wildcard? I did in Game Week 8. I've already used it. We were in a pretty bad position, to be honest, and we needed to use it. And I've just taken a -4 because, cool, why not? Many FPL YouTubers are going for Starsfitch. How about Ortega? You never know. Pep's next month. I get that, but obviously with the double game week potentially coming up in game week 20 for Manchester City, I would be a little bit more hesitant, just down to the fact that I think you'd want to have triple City for a double up. You know, you probably want like a Diaz and a Kanji, a Haaland, and then maybe like a Doku, a Foden, someone like that. So if you've got to use one of your City spots on a goalkeeper, probably not the best, and he's not going to be potentially playing. The reason he played last week was mainly down to Edison being late back from international duty. I'm subbing Isak to Watkins. I need to fund by selling Mbeumo. Do I take Gordon and no spare money, or Souček and Palmer and roughly 1 million spare? I think Souček and Palmer are both excellent choices. I just think Anthony Gordon is going to see a lot more minutes, and Newcastle have been really, really good attacking wise. So I think I probably would go for those two moves over going for someone like Souček and Palmer, especially with Chelsea's fixtures. I think you want Palmer around game week 16. But if Nkuku's back as well, I think he probably maybe takes his place in that squad. It's one of them, isn't it? It's a wait and see. I think Palmer could see like some potential rotation when Nkuku does come back. It looks like he might be back after the next international break in November. Someone's asked triple captain. Who are you triple captaining? I need to know. Best Manchester City midfielder. Personally, from an eye test perspective, this is not even looking at any data. I'd probably say Doku. He looks absolutely fantastic. Gordon or Ward-Prowse. I'd be more leaning towards Anthony Gordon. I know the fixtures are there for West Ham, but Ward-Prowse has kind of reverted back to a deeper position in David Moyes' side. Souček and Kudos, when he comes off the bench, are kind of going into that kind of cam role, if you want to call it that, rather than James Ward-Prowse. He's playing a little bit deeper, but you still do get the set pieces, the corners, the free kicks, all that good stuff. And West Ham are a very good team from set plays, but I still think I would lean more towards Anthony Gordon. Feel he's just got that little bit more open kind of goal play threat, if you want to call it that. How many points do I have overall? Good question. Should we have a look? Because I'm not even sure. Not a lot. Not a lot. We're about 600,000 rank at the moment. We have 561. So Thomas Palmer, you are above me, mate. But yeah, it's a long old season. A lot could happen. A very long season. But yeah. I've got a Doji Kufau in my team, so bench order seems very important. It's currently in Buemo, Neto, Archer. Do you agree with this order? Yes. Yes, I do. Opinions on Diaz to Saka? I rate that. I'd go for that. I'd do that. I think Saka's just got that high probability of scoring a little bit more than Diaz has. I think Diaz is a nice differential option, but Saka's one of those like kind of key players that I think you want to have in your team. I have Haaland, Wilson and Alvarez. Is it worth getting in Watkins? Already own Diaby in cash. I think we've seen over the past few weeks that Diaby cannot cover off Watkins. I think that was kind of my thought process that I was going to do, and it just didn't work out, did it? Watkins has been immense since Unai Emery's appointment. I think he's matching Mohamed Salah and Haaland for attacking returns, which is absolutely ridiculous for 8.3 million. Whether or not he can keep that up is a different story, but I definitely think he does pose himself as a really, really good option. So maybe Callum Wilson out for Watkins. I think you get higher upside out of that move. I have done that question. Lots of videos talking about Trippier to fund Villa assets. Reluctant since lots of value built in Trips. Your thoughts on Trippier out to get funds for Watkins and Mbeumo to Matoma for a -4. I don't think I'd be taking a -4, to be honest, for that. I know Trippier has been extremely good. And this is the thing, I think you just kind of have to live without one of them. It's whether or not you think Watkins is going to outscore, Watkins and kind of Matoma are going to outscore Trippier and Mbeumo. If you think that they're over the next kind of 5 game weeks, that these two players are going to outscore them, then go for it. But if you don't, and you've got a lot of value built in Trippier, like you said, then go against it. But it's up to you, really. It's whether or not you think over that 5 game week period that they are going to outscore them. And with Luton at home, you probably argue that, you know, Watkins should, realistically, on paper. When am I eyeing using a free hit? It'll probably be towards the latter end of the season, to be honest. We're probably looking when, like, FA Cup fixtures, Carabao Cup fixtures, maybe even game week 21 or 22 if City get that double against Brentford, maybe. But I'd probably be more likely to use my triple captain. So back end of the season when there's kind of the FA Cup and stuff like that. Diaz at home to Forest is a hard sell. I do get that. No worries, John, mate. Shall I transfer out a Doji? I think wait and see until we get any early team news. If we get news that he's not playing, then yes. Because the Spurs fixtures are starting to tail off now. They've had that really good period. Now they're starting to play a lot more of the difficult sides in the league. So if we get early team news that he's not fit and not playing, then maybe I would look at other teams. Have you reviewed teams on Twitter yet? No, we will go and have a look at those in a minute. We'll do that in about 5 minutes. So if you want to send me your teams at FPLTom_ on Twitter, those will be reviewed live in the YouTube stream. Go to my pinned tweet on Twitter at FPLTom_. Leave your team there. And like I said, in the YouTube stream, you get to see them, you get to watch them, all that good stuff. Captain Watkins, again, I feel if you've got kind of a gut instinct that Watkins is going to absolutely smash it this week, go for it. Sub, by the way, bro. Keep up the good work. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We are on the road to 2,500 subs. So if you do want to help us out and you want to put that you subbed as well, you'll get a nice little shout out. So thank you. Thank you, Mikey. Appreciate it. Salah or Watkins? This is the big debate this week, isn't it? I'm going Salah. But again, Like, Watkins could honestly decimate Luton at home, to be honest. You know, they've been one of the worst defences in the league. You're also looking at the fact that Chris Wood nearly scored 4 goals against Luton last week as well. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a really difficult one. Andrew says he sees both of them blanking. It'd be classic FPL, wouldn't it? Just everyone's backing these 2 players and then they end up blanking. I've got 0.6 spare, so if we do get early team news, I'll probably get rid of a Dogie if he's not starting. Thinking of bringing in one of Gabriel, but are there any other good options that you go for? I think Gabriel is a top pick that I would arguably be going for this week. Maybe a West Ham defender, maybe someone like Zuma, if you haven't got Areola in goal. Other than that, maybe Igor from Brighton, Harry Maguire from Manchester United with their good fixtures coming up. But I think probably the top pick would be Gabriel. Maybe Simicast as well, if you want to go down that Liverpool route. Rowan has said Son, Palmer and Bowen, Martinelli all on the wild card. Martinelli's an interesting one, isn't he, to be honest? A lot of people are not really going for him, and he's not really hit the same heights as he did last season, so it will be interesting to kind of see how he does get on, to be honest. Playburn or Simicast, I'd probably be leaning more towards Simicast with it being a home fixture. Do I think Nunez will start? Yes. Rate my mid. Juan He-Chan, Saka, Salah, Odegaard and Son. Pretty decent. I have in my mid Diaby, Maddison, Son, Salah, but game week 12 I want to get Saka in for Maddison. I think that's what a lot of people are going to be doing, to be honest. Taking out Maddison and potentially Son and looking to bring in players like Salah and Saka. Right, last little call out for any team reviews that you want to send them in at FPLTom_. Go to my pin tweet and we will be reviewing your teams. There's about 2 hours left of the deadline, so we'll probably have another round of these as well. Like I said, do keep your questions coming in though, guys, throughout it all. Let's have a look what else has been said. Right, last question, I'll stop annoying you. Diaz and Højlund to Saka and João Pedro no hit. Diaz and Højlund to Saka and João Pedro no hit. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Mikey. I think that could work. Say all this. You'll come back next week and go, what an idiot. He told me to do that, and look what happened. Idiot. Nah, go for it, mate. And you can ask as many questions as you want, mate. George asked, how do you send my team? At FPLTom_ on Twitter. Leave it under my pin tweet, and we will go review those now. Is captaining Saka crazy? Not really. Sheffield United got a hell of a lot of injuries. They have a hell of a lot of injuries. I do feel other players have higher kind of upside, though, over kind of going for players like Saka. You're looking at your Salahs and your Watkins. I think they have massive, massive upside over someone like Saka. But, you know, Sheffield United, a lot of injuries. One of the worst defences in the league. It's not the worst shout. Arsenal at home as well. Diaz 16-pointer and Haaland brace incoming. You can't write it, mate. It honestly always happens, doesn't it? I guarantee Højlund scoring. I've took him out this week. It's going to happen, isn't it? Right, let's have a look on Twitter at some of your guys' teams. You can see that we've been sent quite a few already. So like I said, if you do want to send me your teams at FPLTom_ on Twitter, go to my pin tweet and leave it there. We actually need to tweet that we are live. We are live. Woo. Right, let's have a look. How many have we got? We've got quite a few already. Josh, whether or not you're in the TikTok or the YouTube chat, type any questions away. What are your thoughts? I'm thinking Gusto to Arsenal or Man City defender next game week. Yeah, you're probably wanting to look at someone maybe like Gabriel, but the rest of this team is looking pretty fit. Pretty fit, to be honest. That front line is juicy. Haaland, Alvarez and Watkins, all great shouts. That midfield is quite stacked as well. I know you've got a 4.5, but you know that's making up for Trippier. So I think this team is in a very good place. So yeah, I think Gusto out for a cheaper, well, an Arsenal or a City defender makes complete sense to me. So yeah, good team, Josh. Good team. I think they'll do extremely well this week. Woo PKW. No, it wasn't a K, it was a Q. So Woo PQW has sent me his or her team. We're not going to assume genders on this stream. You know, we're not sexist. He's got, or she has got Areola, Porro, Cash, Trippier, Son, Maddison, Salah, Diaby, Saka, Darwin, Watkins. Is there any changes that I would make? Ooh. I think I'd put João Pedro as first sub and put Tsimikas as second. Just because if one of the defenders doesn't play, then Tsimikas is automatically going to come in. And I think João Pedro could outscore Tsimikas this weekend. So I'd do that. That is the only change I'd make there. Zach sent me his team. I know he's in the TikTok chat somewhere. He's got one free transfer and he's asked me what to do with it. He's got Edison, Cash, Trippier, Tsimikas, Gusto, Maddison, Matoma, Saka and Buemo. Ooh, Haaland, Alvarez, Rashford, Visser and Adoji on the bench. Arguably, you probably want to get rid of someone like Marcus Rashford. Maybe, if you can afford it, go to Son. And then maybe next week, get rid of Maddison down to someone. Maybe looking at other midfielders. You've got no Villa players in here. So maybe Diaby. That could be a potential shout. Or maybe you want to hold Rashford. I know they do have good fixtures after that. So, you know, maybe that's the thought process. If not, if we get maybe team news on Adoji, then maybe take him out for maybe Gabriel. Strengthen up that defence. Take Gusto or Mbuemo out. Same with Mbuemo. I know you've already got Matoma, but maybe like someone like Anthony Gordon could be a good shout in there. So those would be my suggestions there, to be honest, mate. If there was a way, maybe you could get to Watkins. I don't know if you could do Rashford down to someone, maybe Rashford down to Gordon, and then Visser up to Watkins, if that's available in your budget. That could potentially be something for a -4. So there's my suggestions. Josh AFC, I know he'll be in the YouTube chat. He said, use both my free transfers and a -4 for this. Areola, Tsimikas, Gabriel, Cash, Bowen, Son, Saka, Salah, Matoma, Watkins, Haaland. Very strong indeed. Very strong indeed there, Josh. No criticisms with that team. Yeah, it's looking in a really good place for the next few game weeks as well. So, very strong. Well done, mate. Well done. Frazzles, I've just seen you are in the... I've just seen that you are in the TikTok chat, so we'll review your team. Lauren, come on. Sometimes I do other things than go to the gym. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I do have a life sometimes. Maybe. 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 Right, let's review Frazzle's team, and then we'll get back to bullying Lauren. Areola, Gabriel, Cash, Adoji, Saka, Salah, Maddison, Diaby, Bowen, Darwin, and Watkins. Captain, very strong, to be honest, mate. Ooh, I'd put Trippier in. I'd put Trippier in instead of Adoji. Not even worse, risking it, and I think you'd back Newcastle to keep a clean sheet against Wolves. So that would be the change that I'd make to that team. The rest of it, I get why you bench Alvarez, to be honest. So, Frazzles, my suggestion for you would be to put Trippier in over Adoji. What is my Twitter? At FPLTom_. If you want to leave your team at the pinned tweet, then that would be funny. Took your weights on a date. Wow. Coming for me today, aren't we? Absolutely coming for me today. Oh, he's on a wild card. No worries, mate. No worries. Let's have a look at any leaked early team news. Have we got anything? No. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. It looks like we've had quite a few kicking off. Is it worth bringing in Matoma for Mbuemo for a -? Also, Tsimikas for an extra 0.2 for Gabriel. I don't think that's worth the minus, to be honest. Wow, just constant bullying, Lauren, to be honest. How did your big sing song go? Yeah, we saw it. Everyone saw it. Come on. I also got you, you heard you got a rail fine for putting your feet on a seat. Like, that's the most Tory thing I think I've ever heard, to be honest. Boom. Really annoying situation. Happy with my team apart from Hoyland. Might just downgrade him to Archer and roll one transfer to have 2 next week, but then have no Saka. I think Nah, stick with Højlund. Stick with Højlund. I think stick with Højlund. Responded with my squad. Cool. If you've put it on Twitter, we'll go and have a look at some more of those in a little bit. If you want to leave me your team at FPL Tom_. Wish I could have Lucas Akins in instead of Haaland. Don't we all? He would be a better player than Erling Haaland. Gave them your name so you can expect the fine. I hope you did. You know, is what it is. Is what it is. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got about an hour. No, we haven't. We've got an hour and 50 minutes. I was going to say we've got an hour. We've got an hour and 50 minutes. Who to captain this week? Haaland, Salah, or Watkins? I'd probably go Salah, Watkins, Haaland in that order. But again, I feel it's one of those weeks where whoever you go, yeah. See you later, Lauren. Thoughts on dropping Haaland? I definitely think that could be something they potentially could look at. Obviously had his really good game against Manchester United in the derby last year, so I definitely think he could be capable of doing something incredible like that again, but it's risky. It is risky going without him, and I do get it. And I do get, you know, some people have seen advantages so far, but yeah, it is what it is. Mullin over Nunes. Yeah, good old Paul Mullin. What a guy. What a gem. What a gem. Do keep your likes, comments, all that good stuff flowing into the stream, guys. Like I said, it does support us, helps push the stream out to more people as well. So if you do enjoy the content that you're seeing, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I am looking at people's teams. If you want to leave them at FPL_Tom_ on my pin tweet, leave it there. And like I said, we will review some more teams a little bit later. Gordon or Bowen, or Gordon or Matoma? Ooh. I probably prefer Bowen and Matoma over going for Anthony Gordon, to be honest, but that's just my personal preference. That is my personal preference. I think with Newcastle being the away fixture, that kind of factors in my mind a little bit. Have Everton got a 12-point deduction? Not yet. And if they get one, oh boy, some Premier League teams are going to kick off, especially with City and their like 116 fines. Jesus, yeah. Right, let's take a look at my predictions for this game week. What I'm thinking and what kind of score predictions I think are going to happen. So the early game, well, not the early game, the Friday night game, Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. I've gone for a 2-0 win for Tottenham. I feel it is going to be comfortable, but I don't think they're going to blow Crystal Palace away. Chelsea versus Brentford, the early kickoff tomorrow. I've gone for a 2-1 win for Chelsea. Moving into the 3 o'clockers, we've got AFC Bournemouth versus Burnley. I've gone for a 2-1 win for Burnley, a 2-0 win for Arsenal, and a 3-1 win for Newcastle United. West Ham Everton, I think, is going to be a bit of a goal fest, so I've gone for 3-2 for Everton. Then for Villa Luton, I've gone 4-1 Luton. For Brighton Fulham, 2-2. Again, feel it could be a goal fest. Both defences quite leaky, and if Bassi is playing, oh my god, they are going to leak goals. He is crap at football. He is terrible at football, ladies and gentlemen. Then I've gone for a 3-0 win for Liverpool over Forest. And then in the Manchester derby, I've gone for a 4-2 win for Manchester City. Can see some goals. Can see some goals happening tomorrow. Oh, yeah, it's not 4-1 for Luton. It's 4-1 for Villa. 4-1 for Villa. Come on, I read it wrong, but it is 4-1 for Villa. I'm not mental. Don't worry, you don't have to lock me up. I've got triple Villa. But, you know, Carlton Morris, he is pretty good. He is pretty good at ball. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I'm not mental. Watch that come in now. Watch it be 4-1. Watch it be 4-1. This top is from Dortmund. I think I got it off Classic Football Shirts. Or do you mean that one or that one? That's another Dortmund shirt, and that's a Mansfield shirt in the back. But yeah, I just took Morris out. Yeah, the Carlton Morris season was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, to be honest? That's past now. We need to find a new player. It's probably like Ollie Watkins' season or whatever. What team do I support? I support Mansfield, which is that kit back there, and we play in League 2. Cheers, Andrew. We'll go and take a look at some more teams on Twitter as well in a couple minutes. We'll get some more in, so if you want to send me them at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet, and we will be reviewing your teams live on the YouTube stream. So if you are on TikTok and you want to come over, check it out. Come on, you Stags, get in there. Hopefully we can get a good result against Walsall. Keep this unbeaten run going. That would be absolutely incredible, wouldn't it? Captains, Watkins, Salah, Saka or Son. I'd probably go Salah, Watkins, Saka, Son in that order. Bench 1, Wilson, Alvarez, Maddison, Diaby. I would probably argue you'd want to bench maybe Alvarez. City going forward haven't been as good as they've been in previous seasons. I think they're down in like 8th or 9th for XG created in the league so far. So really missing KDB to create some good opportunities for them. Start Neto or Lascelles. I'd probably go Lascelles, to be honest. Big next 3 games for us, League and then into the Cup. Yeah, that League Cup game is going to be very tasty indeed. Hopefully we can win this weekend. You know, go into that Cup game positive, on the bounce. Get a bit of revenge for the old 3-0 demolition job at Wembley. But yeah. Palmer or Adingra? I'd probably go Adingra, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I'd do there. I'd probably go Adingra. But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys. We will try to answer as many as we possibly can. And like I said, we are going to review some more teams in a second. This will be the final call out at FPL Tom_ on Twitter, and we will do those in a few minutes. Thoughts on I can't say his name. Adingra? Sure, we'll go with that. I think he's a really good asset and a really good pick for this week at 5 million. It doesn't look like he's got much competition on that right-hand side, but we know how De Zerbi likes to chop and change his side. So maybe, but I think for 5 million, I don't think there's too much to potentially could go wrong. Good next 4 fixtures. Solly March out injured. I think he's going to play. Had an impressive performance as well last night, picking up an assist in the Europa League against Ajax as well. So yeah, I think he could be a good shout, to be honest. Start Alvarez or Gordon. I'd probably lean more towards Anthony Gordon. Captain Watkins, Salah or Saka. I'd probably go Salah, Saka in that order. Salah, Watkins, Saka in that order. Transfer Saka in for Son? No, I really don't think I'd be doing that. That was kind of my debate this week, and I went against doing that. So I've kept Son in and not took Saka in. Yeah, there we go. I got there in the end. Right, let's go and review some teams. Yes, Josh, we did do your team. So if you want to see what I said, I think I said it was very strong and very good. But just rewind the stream. But yeah, let's have a look. See if more people have sent me their teams. It's not looking good. Here we go. Noah Morse, I want to say. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's using his bench boost this week. Martinez, Trippier, Cash, Gabriel, Pedporo, Salah, Saka, Son, Watkins, Julian Alvarez, and Darwin, Areola, Palmer. It's a great little bench boost. That is a cracking little bench boost. I think that team's going to do extremely well this week. That could easily break 100 mark if everyone kind of turns up and Salah turns up as your captain. So Noah, great team. Good use of the bench boost there for me. This team could slap this week. Let's have a look if we've had any more. Andrew, I know you are in the TikTok chat, so let's review your team for this week. Areola, Van der Veen, Cash, Anderson, Trippier, Diaby, Maddison, Son, Salah, Watkins, and Haaland. Have you already made your transfer? Let me know if you've already made your transfer, Andrew. Because there could be some room for manoeuvre. Obviously got the triple Villa, triple Spurs as well, so quite heavily leaning towards kind of 1 to 2 games. Anderson, not the best defender we could have in this week. He's done a doji to Van der Veen. Okay, fair enough. Probably not the transfer that I would have made. I probably would have gone for someone like Gabriel. Got off the triple kind of Spurs with their fixtures turning, but other than that, I don't think there's too much I could potentially say to suggest. I don't think there's anywhere that I'd argue is worth a -4, so I think the team's in a good nick. Good little place. Where can I send my team? If you want to send it me on Twitter at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet and we will be reviewing them live on the YouTube stream. James Ward-Prowse to Gordon. He has dropped to that deeper role, to be honest. So maybe, but again, what's that move going to enable you to do, to be honest? We'll swap Spurs in 2 weeks because I think they have good fixtures. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think there's any other changes that you could potentially make to that. Let's have a quick check and make sure no one else has sent me their teams. Like I said, if you want to send me a team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet, and we will try to review as many as we possibly can. And sometimes it doesn't work, so I do apologise if it doesn't work. John, I know you're in the YouTube chat. He sent me his team. 1 free transfer available, 0.4 in the bank. What move would you make? Feel free to suggest -4 or high reward risk move. Okay. So we've got 0.4 in the bank. It's a difficult one. That defence is quite honky. Martinelli, Sheffield United, yeah. And Buemo maybe is probably the one that I'd look to maybe take out this week. Or Højlund, because he's been quite stinky, but you've not got enough to do Watkins. So it would have to be a -4 move. So maybe if you wanted to go for a -4, John, you could do... What could be a shout is Buemo either to Matoma, if you want to just keep it with a 1 free transfer. And Buemo to Matoma, nice and easy. And Buemo to Adingra, and then Højlund to Watkins if you fancy going for that -4 and getting Watkins in your team. So that would be my suggestion there for you and your team, to be honest. Yeah, there you go, John. So that could be the high risk, high reward one. If you wanted to go for something safe, maybe Buemo to Matoma would be the transfer that I potentially would be making. Tony Robertson, whether or not you're in the YouTube or the TikTok chat, we are going to be reviewing your team right now. Areola, Cash, Trippier, Ake, Anderson, Son, Ward-Prowse, Mudryk. Interesting. Haaland, Watkins, and Cunha up front. That's a difficult fixture for Cunha, to be honest. Scott McTominay on the bench as well. It's an interesting one. I think I'd play Bruno Fernandes over maybe Ake or Anderson, to be honest. Obviously, with him being on penalties, all it takes is for him to get like a lucky penalty. It's a derby as well, so I definitely think he'll be up for it. So I'd probably argue that I'd rather have either McTominay or Bruno Fernandes in than Anderson, to be honest. Especially if you're going captain Son. Obviously, you want Son to do well. You're not really wanting Anderson to do too much. So I'd probably put either one of McTominay or Bruno in for Anderson. And if you've got a transfer, I'd probably say maybe look for a Mudryk replacement. Would be my kind of suggestion. Maybe for a Brighton boy, maybe someone like Matoma. That would be my suggestion there, to be honest. Thomas _FPL has sent me his team as well. I know he's a regular in the YouTube chat. He's got Areola, Pau Torres, Cash, Trippier, Diaby, Luis Diaz, Maddison Saka, Salah, Darwin, and Alvarez, Højlund, Adoji, and Kabore on the bench. I think that team's fine. Obviously, no Haaland in here. He's gone for Saka captain. Yeah, there is no Watkins because he's already got his triple Villa in use, which arguably is a big blow, but the team is still looking pretty strong. You're back in Liverpool for a strong performance, back in Villa for a strong performance as well. But with those fixtures, you would expect them, so hopefully that goes well. I think you've got your benching of the players all correct as well, so no changes I would be making there, Thomas, mate. I think you're doing pretty well. I think you are doing pretty well. Right, let's catch up with the chat, see what people are saying. Do you think I should get rid of Maddison? I have nothing in the bank, really. Tempted to go for Bowen, Martinelli, or Matoma. I already have Diaby and no Arsenal mids. Yeah, I'd probably go Bowen and Matoma over Martinelli there, to be honest. Getting Matoma and Bowen to transfer out Maddison and Anderson. I don't own Saka. Okay, I like that. Yeah, that bench boost was pretty filthy, whoever had that bench boost. If you want to send me a team, at FPLTom_, go to my Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet, and it will be reviewed live on the YouTube stream as well. So if you want to come over to YouTube, check that out as well. Like I said, we're trying to hit 2,000 subs, and if you are enjoying the content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. All that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Scottish Baguette back in the chat as well. It's been a few weeks, mate. Captain in Son, absolutely love that. Sent his team as well. No worries, Noah. No worries, mate. No worries as well, John. That's fine. Kanji suspended, so I've put in Ake. I've took a -8 already. Oh my. Oh God, Scottish forget. Oh no. Noah had the bench boost. Get in. Bowen or Darwin, whom to start? I'd probably go more towards Bowen, to be honest. I was away in Florida. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. But that's no real excuse, is it? Come on, get it on the family holiday. They'll love that. I'm guessing you went with your family. If not, maybe a lad's holiday. Who knows? Is it Doji playing? We haven't had any early team news yet, so we don't know at the moment. A Doji playing? Question mark. No, we still don't know. Even though you put it again, we still don't know. If I have Darwin and Tsimikas on the bench, should I bench boost? It depends what the rest of your team looks like, but arguably yes. Is Kufal fit? He had an illness issue with Fabianski. Start Porro or Alvarez. I'd probably go Porro. Mansfield is bigger than Dortmund. It's absolutely massive. Like, they haven't got Lucas Higgins, have they? No Kelly are done for them. Come on. Yeah, I'll review some more teams in a little while. At FPL Tom _ on Twitter if you want to send me your team, and I will review your teams. I commented it under your recent post. It won't let me DM. That's fine, mate. If you want to put it under the pinned tweet or whatever, I will find it and try and read it out. Sometimes it goes a little bit missing though on Twitter, like it just doesn't appear. So we'll have a look in a little while for some more teams. At FPL Tom _ if you want to send me your teams. Scottish Baguette got to make his own chocolate bar while out in Florida. Wow. Absolutely mental, mate. Absolutely mental. What do I think of Souček as an asset? I think he's a good pick because he's been playing kind of a little bit further forward and obviously always a threat from set pieces. When you've got James Ward-Prowse on the pitch as well, you would imagine that he's potentially going to score some headers. But with Kudos putting in some impressive performances and kind of being the what's the word I'm looking for? The kind of replacement for him. I do feel there potentially could be one game where he goes with Kudos, maybe wants to attack. Maybe this could be the game where Souček drops back into his original role a little bit deeper on. So yeah. João Pedro a good option? I think so, yeah. Scottish Baguette has gone mental while he was in Florida. He's put bacon and walnut and coffee in his chocolate. Absolutely not us. What else is going off? Wildcard team: Areola, Johnson, Cash, Gabriel, Tsimikas, Veltman, Lascelles, Salah, Maddison, Bowen, Matoma, Haaland, Watkins and Barmer, or in same team instead of Matoma and... What? I think that wildcard team is fine. Maybe I just wouldn't have Johnson in goal. I think you might as well just have Turner. Save that extra money. You might need it in a few game weeks' time. Is Fatty fit? I haven't seen anything suggesting that he's not. So yeah, I think that's fine. Play Darwin or Matoma. I'd probably lean more towards Matoma. But that one could go either way. Thank you for sending me a team, Chris. We'll go and have a look at some more of those in a little while. If you want to send me your team, at FPLTom _ on Twitter, go to my pin tweet, leave it there, as we will review some more teams as well. When you bringing in Decore, you fraud. Lad, it was you who said you was going to bring in Decore, mate. Not me. I'm all about the Beto hype. Still waiting for that train really to take off, to be honest. But yeah, when are you bringing in Decore, you big fraud? If you send me a team, I better see him in there. I'm not reviewing it otherwise. Not going to bother. Just started a league with my mates, ready to whoop them with the bench boost. You will absolutely decimate them. I'm not going to lie, Noah. That could easily get a massive 100 update. Estepinian update. He is back in solo training and potentially could be back within the next few weeks. He sent me his team. There better be a Decore in this team. Right, let's go and have a review of some people's teams. Let's see what's happening. Hakuna Matata, I'm guessing you're in the TikTok chat or in the YouTube chat. Your team still have 2 free transfers and 1.6 million in the bank. Matoma and Bowen for Maddison and Anderson. What is your suggestion? I think that's a great suggestion. Like, arguably, that is what I'd probably do. I think I'd just do that. Matoma and Bowen for Maddison and Anderson, yeah. I think that works. I think that's great. Obviously, you've got no Haaland, but I think that's the play to make. You've outdone me. To be honest. So, yeah, I'd go with that. Chris has got 1 free transfer. His team is Areola, Burn, Cash, Saliba, Matoma, Son, Maddison, Salah, Neto, Haaland, and Julian Alvarez. I don't think you desperately need to make a transfer, to be honest, this week, Chris. Maybe if you've got enough money to do Maddison to Saka, that could be a potential option. If we get early team news that, maybe Adoji isn't fit, maybe you could replace him, maybe get Tsimikas. Or otherwise, I think just roll into next week. Take 2 free transfers, kind of see the lay of the land, see how Brighton get on, see how Villa get on as well. That potentially could be something that you potentially take a look at. If you wanted to get Watkins in, if you're desperate for him, probably I'd say is take Maddison down to maybe like an Anthony Gordon and then take, obviously, Archer out for Watkins if you wanted to go down that route. Or, Alvarez, vice versa. Maybe Maddison down to like someone around 6.5, maybe like a Diaby or someone like that. But yeah, I think the team's in a really good place. Watkins would be the big miss for this week, but I think I would just roll the transfer, to be honest. Liam's team, here we go. He's got Areola, he's got Lascelles, he's got Adoji, he's got Cash, he's got Bowen, he's got Maddison, he's got Salah, he's gone for the Saka captain. Decore has made it in there. Watkins and Haaland, and then a really strong bench boost potential there. Not going to lie, Liam, there's a little bit of like bench boosty potential here. You've got Lyle Foster with Bournemouth, right? Good fixture. Tsimikas at home, Nottingham Forest, great. And then Gahey, not so much. It is all dependent, obviously, on the Adoji if we get any early team news. You'd probably want to play, Tsimikas over him, so then that would limit the bench boost, but maybe if we get news. I probably would be more inclined to play Foster over Decore, but, if you like him that much, go for it. No worries, Chris, mate. No worries. If you want to send any more of your questions or teams to me on Twitter at FPLTom_. And yeah, all sweet. But yeah, thank you for sending me a team, Liam. Jesus, we've had a big swarm of teams kind of sent into me there. Anton sent me his team. Raya, Pedporo, Trippier, Gabriel Pau, Salah, Saka, Gordon, Maddison, Darwin, Watkins, and a bench boost of Becker, Alvarez, Matoma, and Adoji. If Adoji's playing as well, that's a strong bench boost active for this week. So yeah, I can get on board with that, Anton. No qualms there. Sarafask. I'm absolutely sorry. I haven't butchered your name there. Sarafak. Yeah, that sounds about right. Again, do apologise if I've absolutely butchered that. Still haven't used my wildcard. Should I start Foden or Bruno Fernandes, considering what Pep said about Foden after the Champions League? I think I'd still lean towards more Bruno Fernandes. If you look at Foden's kind of non-penalty expected goals per 90, it's really low. It's like 0.3, which is ridiculously crap for a player of his quality. So Bruno Fernandes as well. I think you do get the penalties. There's always going to be some sort of decision in the derby as well. So I definitely think I would stick with Bruno over Foden, to be honest. I just apologise that I butchered your team. Aiden sent me his team. He's got 2 free transfers. He's got Areola, he's got Turner, he's got Cash, he's got Burn, he's got Trippier, Porro, Lamptey, Son, Maddison, Salah, Diaby, Chukwuemeka, Watkins, Haaland, and Archer. That is difficult. That is very difficult. I mean, maybe you could do Lamptey to like a Maguire if you wanted another playing defender rather than burning 2 free transfers. Because I think the team is fine for this week. So yeah, maybe doing like Lamptey to one of them. That could be an option. Lamptey to maybe like Taylor or Maguire for the next few weeks. I think that's probably the option that I'd potentially go for. And then again, you'll have 2 free transfers next week. But the rest of the team, really strong, and no one I'd be like absolutely gagging to take out of here. So I think that's what my suggestion would be there, to be honest. FJM has sent me his team as well, or her team. We're not assuming genders. Come on now. We're not assuming genders. Areola, Cash, Kufau, Gabriel, Madison, Diaby, Saka, Son, Sterling, Watkins, Haaland. Yeah, no real issues. Obviously, the issue might lie with your potential defenders, whether or not Kufau or Adoji. If you've got your free transfer lying around, maybe Adoji to someone like Harry Maguire. Maybe it's a difficult one because you've already got a Palace defender. Maybe a Newcastle defender, maybe like a Burn. Maybe even a Lascelles if you wanted to go that cheap and have a 4 million defender around your team as well. That potentially could be an option. But if we get positive news around Adoji, I'd probably play him over Kufal because he might not have recovered from his illness. But yeah. Right, let's have a catch-up of the TikTok and YouTube chat. See what people are saying. Anderson's Son Masterclass. Woo! Alvarez or Darwin this week? I'd probably go Darwin. Saka isn't a must-have if one has Salah, Diaz, Matoma, Bowen and Son. Arguably, yeah. I think that this is where it's going to come down to. FPL is quite exciting at the moment. There's so many differentials where, you know, people could go with different routes and get different points from different players. And equally, if those players don't work out, then, you know, it could all go a bit tits up. But yeah, Saka is one of those players where you could have him, or you could not have him, but then there's always going to be someone that then you can't have, like a Haaland, a Trippier. So I really like where the game is at the moment. There's decisions to be had. He is a guy. Excellent. Excellent. It was very stupid of me to think we'd have women. We don't have women in these streams. Like, come on. Come on. I might bring in Lamptey from Brighton. Yeah, I wouldn't. He can't keep fit. He can't play full games. I'll keep sending you a team every week so I can eventually correctly pronounce it. If you want to give me like a breakdown of like how to actually pronounce it, then that might help me a little bit more, because I do feel quite bad when I mispronounce people's names, especially like you guys are sending me a team and all that stuff. So I do feel a little bit bad when I like mispronounce them. Gemma says your mustache is slacking. Look, I didn't have time to shave before I started the stream. I was going to do it, and then I just didn't have time, all right? I do apologise, mate. I do apologise. I know you want me to get a sweet handlebar mustache, but I kind of like the little bit of tuft. You know what? If we get like 2,500 subs on this stream, I'll do it. I'll do it on the stream. Fuck it. Why not? We're not going to get there, so I can make these bold shouts and bold claims. But yeah, there we go. That will make me a -12. I'm worried about Salah because I have no frees and I'm losing crazy points by not having him. This could be a big week if he slaps as well. But again, it's one of them, isn't it, where like you hope that the other players can outperform him. But I think his EO is going to probably be close to 100% with a lot of people captaining this week. Will Simicast play until January now that Robbo is out? Probably more than likely, yeah. Obviously was dropped, rotated, whatever angle you kind of want to look at it. Maybe it was a little bit of a break for him. Any Adoji news? Not yet. We're still waiting for that. Do keep the likes coming in though, guys, on the TikTok stream. It does push it out to more people, which is always great and always what we want to see as well. So, yeah. If I win one league, I'm going to get the R9 cut. Scottish Baguette, let me help you do that because I'd like to see that happen. I'll get you on the stream as well. That'd be funny. Oh my god, your stream just reminded me it's deadline day. Nearly forgot. Yep, it's a Friday this week, so... You know, what can I say? I'm providing a service to everyone. Make sure to get your teams locked in, guys. It is deadline today and not Saturday, so make sure to get those teams locked in. Wildcarded this week, went for Son and Van der Veen over Saka and Alvarez. Hope it pays off. I don't think I'd potentially be going for Van der Veen. I think there are better options in the defence. Gabriel and arguably Tsimikas are better picks with better fixtures coming up. So that would be my change if you are on the wildcard. Captain Salah or Watkins. Obviously, I'm leaning more towards Salah at the moment, but can completely understand why people want to go for Watkins. It's going to be a really, really tight 50-50 split, to be honest. What are your thoughts on the Ferguson punt, or would you prefer João Pedro? I'd probably lean more towards João Pedro, to be honest. I think he's got the penalties. Evan Ferguson seems to have a little bit of an injury issue as well. Can't keep himself quite fit, and it seems like De Zerbi doesn't want to throw him in for full 90s or back-to-back games. So I'd probably be leaning more towards João Pedro. I think he's got that little bit more versatility in his kind of play style and his positions that he can play in the game as well. So I'd probably go João Pedro. John sent me his team on Twitter. Please help me. I've got no idea what to do. Yeah, we're just blagging this as well, to be honest, mate. Start Saliba or Adoji. I'd be starting Saliba. Should I do Burn to Gabriel? No. Off to Burton tomorrow with Leighton Orient. Good for you. Cool. Let's go and have a look at John's team. Let's help him out because he seems like he's a bit stuck at the moment. Here is his team. Hi, Tom. 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Okay, I think the team's fine. I genuinely think this team is fine for this game week. If you wanted to make a transfer, if you wanted to desperately make a transfer this week, then I'd probably say maybe do either Van der Veen or Burn to Gabriel if you were desperate and could afford to make a transfer and you didn't want to burn a transfer. But everything else about this team is fine. You're in a really good place, to be honest, John. This team's ridiculously strong going into this week. You've got a little bit of bench cover as well if players don't play. I get, Crystal Palace as well is a good fixture, so you could easily burn, but if you wanted to make a transfer that would help you in the longer term, probably would be bringing in an Ars. Oh, you've already got Saliba. I didn't even spot Saliba. Ignore me. Ignore the Gabriel shout. Maybe you could go for Tsimikas. For Tyra. Maybe Tsimikas for Van der Veen would be my only shout, but otherwise I'd probably say burn the transfer. I probably would say burn the transfer, John. Scottish Baguette, I've got about a -40 incoming for game week 11. You are going to finish bottom of your leagues. Start Doji. It's a risky one, isn't it? Hopefully we can get some early team news and find out. I'm currently benching him for Charlie Taylor, the 1-point magnet. Joe said never burn a transfer. Sometimes you have to. If your team's good enough and strong enough for 1 week. I'm against it. I hate burning transfers. But sometimes you get in positions where your team is in a really good place and you're strong enough that you just, it doesn't make sense. You're arguably going to lose more points by making that transfer. So sometimes you do just have to burn it and hope for the best. Porro or Saliba, I'd probably lean more towards Porro. Just because I think he's got the higher upside of getting an attack in return. Obviously, Saliba, you would bank on a clean sheet at home against Sheffield United, but you'd probably say the same thing for Porro away at Crystal Palace, and he's quite attacking as well. Why did I go down the rankings even though I got 13 more points than the average? So the average always isn't the average is just over the whole 9 to 10 million players. So you need to basically, there's a safety score. If you use a website called live.fpl, put your team code in there, it'll tell you what the safety score was for you and your rank. I think mine was about 82. I needed to get 82 to maintain at the same rank. So there's obviously stuff like effective ownership, different players coming in. So even if you do finish above the average, it always doesn't quite matter. There's always going to be a safety score which is above the average. The average kind of is the whole game. So, even players that have dead teams, dud teams are all calculated towards this average. Whereas with the safety score and the live rank, that is going to be more dependent around your rank, if you get what I'm saying. Back in the old 9 million ranks, there's probably people who've got Decore in the teams and not really taking the game seriously. So they're going to lower the average as a whole. I hope that made sense. But yeah, there we go. What was your rank last season? I finished 4.3 million, but currently having 2 million this season. A lot of people are struggling this season. A lot of top content creators are struggling. I feel a lot of people went double United at the start. Yeah, it didn't really work out, did it? 4.3 though is very good. Last year I got... What did I get last year? Let's have a look. It was about 100,000, I think. Let's have a look. Game week history. Last season, I finished 66,000. So pretty good. Pretty good, to be honest. Oh, 4.3k. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I don't know how the averages worked out, to be honest. It's just, I guess, how a regular average is. But yeah, I finished 66k last year. Hopefully, we can get somewhere around there again. Another top 100k finish would be absolutely immense. If we could do that. Has anyone else sent me their teams? Bench boost active for FPL. Thomas FPL. Yeah, I reviewed your team, mate. I think this is decent. That's a very good team. He says he's lost his mind, but I think the bench boost works. I rate it. Go for it. Balls to the walls, pal. Go for it. How do we send teams? If you want to send me them on Twitter, at FPLTom_, go to my pin tweet, leave your team there, and we will review it live on the YouTube stream. But yeah. This season is all luck so far. I think there's still a little bit of skill, but definitely leaning more towards the luck side. There's been quite a few players that have just popped off. But yeah. Anywhere else, if we don't have Twitter, you can either leave it in the TikTok chat and I'll try and read it best I can, or if you want to come over to the YouTube chat, type it out there. I can definitely go through it there because it's a little bit slower. Bro, should I keep Alvarez and Haaland up top or sub in Neto and Edouard for them? I mean, the players that you've suggested, probably not. Like, Odsonne Edouard, meh. Pedro Neto, meh. I think I'd still stick with Haaland and Alvarez up top over those two, to be honest. Nine out of the 10 best FPL managers of all time are currently outside the top 1 mil. Yeah, it's just been a weird season. Like I said, I think a lot of people went with the double United, or at least one United midfielder, kind of kept faith, and it didn't really work out. And a lot of people kind of went against Matoma because they felt he was going to get a little bit more rotation, and then that didn't work out either. So, do you think we'll have news before the deadline about a Doji? I'm hoping so. For my own team. We'll have a scout round Twitter. We do have a kind of thread put together of all the early team news. And we'll kind of hope for the best that we do. Alvarez and Mbeumo, Watkins and a 5.5 million midfielder. If you think Watkins is going to slap and do extremely well, which I think he will, and probably outscore Alvarez over the kind of next 5 to 6 game weeks, then I'd go for it. Joe did the exact same. Like I said, a lot of the top managers did go down that route. Lau Foster masterclass against Bournemouth is needed for me. I think he could do well. I backed him last week as one of the differential strikers you potentially could go for if you were on a wild card. And I think, again, the fixtures are still there for Burnley. They're not very good at the back. But Lyle Foster has probably been their brightest spark, to be honest. Any love for Martinelli, Tom? Not really. I haven't really delved into him, to be honest. He's not been a player that I've kind of wanted or wanted to own, so I've not really looked into any of his data, so I can't really comment, to be honest. Do you rate teams on Insta? Unfortunately not. It is either on Twitter, or if you want to just type your team out, either on the YouTube or the TikTok chat, and I'll try my best to get around them. Best budget midfielders, you're probably looking at people like Palmer, Adingra, Neto, Gordon. They're probably your best budget options. If a Doji starts, Palmer or a Doji to start? Ooh. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I think I'd attack it and go Palmer, you know. I think I'd attack it and go Palmer. Oh, cheers, mate. What is my Twitter? It is at FPLTom_. If you go to my pin tweet, Leave your team there and we will review them. There's about an hour and 10 minutes till the Game Week 10 deadline. Hopefully we can get some early team news in before, everything kind of kicks off. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Turner or Flacken start. Not very good choices this week, both with bad fixtures. I would probably say, back the early kickoff, get a little bit of Gandhi look and go Flacken. That would be my my suggestion there. Best team you have seen this stream. There was someone, can't remember whose team it was. Apologies. I think it was Noah's with the bench boost that was absolutely filthy. That's been the best team I've seen so far on this stream. But yeah. I took a -40 deduction because I accidentally didn't click the wild card. Is there any solution? Yes. If you did it this week, so the game week deadline hasn't already gone, click the wildcard button now. So make another transfer and it will get rid of the -40 that you took. And it will just put it back. It'll be like, oh, the wildcard's active. That's then active for that game week. So just click the wildcard button. Then it should get rid of that -40 for you. There you go. Watkins or Salah for this captain for this game week. I've gone personally for Salah, but I definitely could see why you potentially would go for Watkins. Again, it's all like up to you, to be honest. I think both players have been in exceptionally good form. Both could slap, but it's one of those, isn't it? Adinga, Palmer, or Hwang. I'd probably go Adinga, then Palmer, then Hwang in that order. Worst team I've seen so far in the stream? It's difficult. It's really difficult to say. Someone had Decore in the team, so probably that one. Sorry, Liam. What do you think is the next best game week to wildcard? Let me have a look at the fixtures and tell you. So I think the next big kind of swing is around game week 16. Because I think Chelsea have a kind of a swing in 16. So probably around then would be a week I maybe would suggest. Or game week 19, especially if we get that double confirmed for Manchester City in game week 20. Those would be the teams that I potentially be looking, the weeks I'll be looking at. Keep your questions coming in, guys. Bro, have 5 elite midfielders and 3 elite forwards. Need to choose 7 out of the 8, i.e. need to drop 1. Among the following on the bench: Bowen, Saka, Salah, Maddison, Son, Watkins, Darwin, Alvarez, not spam. I'd probably go Alvarez. I'd probably drop Alvarez out of all those lot. Yeah, game week 12 as well. Could be one way you could potentially wildcard. Can you join my league? I'll send it you on Insta. No. I'm in enough leagues. Let's have a look if anyone else has sent me their teams on Twitter. Let's have a look. I think some people did, but we'll have a look. We did those. Haven't done this one. Benjamin sent me his team. Either you are on the TikTok or YouTube chat. Turner, Areola, Adoji, Cash, Gabriel, Byrne, Taylor, Diaby, Maddison, Neto, Son, Salah, Haaland, Watkins, and Archer. What transfers should I do? I think your team's in a pretty good place, to be honest, mate. Like, I'm not going to lie. I think this is a very, very strong team, and I don't think there'd be anyone I'd be absolutely gagging to sell this week. So you've got 2 free transfers. So if we get news that Adoji's not playing, he would probably be the one that I would replace. Other than that, I can't really see anyone I'd be like gagging, like absolutely dying to get rid of in this team. So maybe just do Adoji, because the Spurs fixtures aren't great. Maybe get a Crystal Palace defender in there for the next few weeks coming up after this game week. That would probably be my suggestion there, Benjamin. Alistair has sent me his team. Areola, Pedporo, Simicast, Cash, Gabriel, Gordon, Son, Saka, Salah, Haaland, Watkins captain, Byrne on the bench. No complaints there, mate. I think very strong team. No issues, Alistair. Great team. Done that one. We haven't done this one. Oh my days. Names. Zohabi? Again, I do apologise. Absolutely apologise if I'm butchering your name. Like, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Areola, Gusto, Burn, Cash, Saka, Son, Mbuemo, Matoma, Salah captain, Watkins, Haaland. Then he's got a Doji on the bench injured. Okay, I think the team's strong enough. Arguably, Mbuemo's probably the one player you want to replace from this team. Maybe Gusto, maybe a Doji. You've got no Arsenal defenders. So that probably would be my suggestion this week. If you've got a free transfer left over, maybe just go a Doji to Gabriel. Play him over Gusto. That would be my suggestion there. Let's have a look if there's any more hiding around down the bottom. George Abbott has sent me his team on the Sun. Don't do the Sun, unfortunately, George. I also sent my team. I'm AFC Fan 00. Okay, let's see if we can find that for you, mate, because I couldn't see it when I had an initial scan. But let's have another look for you. Sometimes it doesn't work and it doesn't send the teams, and I do apologise if that is the case. And that is looking... Oh, no, we did your team, Alistair. We did your team. It was great. Lauren's back. Fake perm. Cheers, Lauren. Haven't you got, like, some Tory rally to go to or, you know, some middle-class dinner party? A Doji or Gabriel? I'd be leaning more towards Gabriel, to be honest. Unfortunately, I can't do someone. Like, I don't really know what to suggest, and I don't want to give out poor advice. Like, I just don't play the game. So, I'm sorry. Gabriel or Simicast? Again, I'd probably lean more towards Gabriel. Yes, I did Frazzles. If you want to go onto the YouTube stream and scroll back, you can kind of see when I did review it. Bowen and Adingra or Diaby and Gordon? Ooh, I'd probably lean more towards Bowen and Adingra. Where's my vape? I'm definitely not obsessed with, you know, vaping out of a USB port that, you know, just produces steam. It's not for me. That. What else have we got to look at before? We've got about an hour till the deadline. It's been a long one. It has been a long one. Obviously, we did start about 4. So it's going to be like a 2.5 hour stream. Don't lie to your fans. Hey, my fans know I don't vape. They know I'm pretty cool. Yes, I did review yours, Frazzles, mate. I did review yours. Like I said, if you want to come to the YouTube stream and just go back, I did review it at some point. I can't remember where. Jeff is in the YouTube chat, a regular of these streams as well. So hi, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. Let's take a look at some predicted points for Game Week 10. How is the Doji? Any news? No news yet. We'll have a scout round after this. Make sure that he is fully fit and all that good stuff. But let's take a look at the top predicted points for Game Week 10. Salah leading the way by a clear country mile, 9.3. Then Haaland with 8. Then Saka with 7.9. Watkins with 7.3. Then Odegaard as well on 7.3. Son with 6.8. Trippier with 6.4. Trent with 6.1. Matoma with 6. And Maddison with 5. So maybe if you are stuck potentially with your captaincy option for this week, Salah is by and large the clear favourite for predicted points against Nottingham Forest according to the Draft Hound predicted points model. What's my Twitter? It's at FPLTom_. If you want to send me a team, leave it on the pin post. Start Alvarez or Matoma? I'd probably go more towards Matoma. What do you think the score is going to be between Notts and Wrexham? Both teams are terrible at defending, aren't they? So I can see it being a little bit of a goal fest. Both quite good going forward as well. So I reckon I'm going to go 3-2 Wrexham. Fuck County. Yeah. I have 2 free transfers and no idea to what to do with them. Wasting a transfer is boring. Let me know what your team looks like, Jeff, and I'll try and help you out. Alvarez and Mbuemo, Watkins and Adingra -4. I'd be more leaning towards the Watkins and Adingra for a -4. Can you rate my team? I'm David Meyer. Let's have a look if I've done your team, David. I might have already done it. Maybe. Let's have a refresh. Let's have a refresh. Let's have a look. Sorry if I've already done it or I can't find it. Let's have a look. If it's in here, David, I can't find your team. I can't find your team, David. And Lauren, you don't have a team, so you can. That's for you, Lauren. Onana or Turner or a different one. That's difficult. That I'd probably stick it though. Like I don't like wasting free transfers on goalkeepers. I just don't see the point. They've got limited upside to their game, so I wouldn't do it. Right, let's have a scout around. Ethan has sent me his team. He's got 2 free transfers, 0.2 in the bank. Areola, Turner, Cash, Burn, Adoji, Gahey, Taylor, Neto, Maddison, Son, Salah. Strong front line as well. So probably Adoji to Gabriel as the one transfer and then maybe roll and take the other one. I think you're Jeff, aren't you? I think you're Jeff, Ethan. You do this every week and throw me. But yeah, if we get news that Adoji's not fit, I'd probably do Adoji to Gabriel. That would be my transfer. Then take 2 into next week as well. Where can I get my team rated? Over on my Twitter, at FPLTom_. Leave it under my pinned tweet. We've had another one. We've got Z2112. He said, should I change this or keep this? Thanks. Oh, manners. How nice. He's got Areola, Cash, Trippier, Adoji, Saka, Maddison, Bowen, Son, Salah, Watkins, Alvarez. Lascelles on the bench, so Lascelles could cover that. Either you could take 2 transfers into next week, or if we get news that Adoji's not playing, maybe you could do Adoji to Gabriel. That would probably be the suggestions that I would make. Any Adoji news? No. Saka and Watkins for Son and who? Lavres? Who the hell is he? No, Lauren, you're never making the book. Come on. Especially if you're spamming my streams with just rubbish. You're never making the book. Come on. Doesn't look like we've got any early team news at the moment, which is quite frustrating. But hopefully we do get some. FPL Villain, who's quite good for Villa team news, has said Diaby 100% on his predictions. Cash only an 80%, which is interesting. But if you have got Diaby and you're potentially worried about him not playing, he's quite confident. The rest of it, still no early team news. I think someone else has sent me their team. David Myers' team has come in. So yeah, we love that. Areola, Trippier, Tsimikas, Cash, Pedporo, Bowen, Maddison, Salah, Son, Saka, Watkins. Very strong. Very strong, David. No criticism there, to be honest. Salah captain as well. I think it's a really, really strong team for this game week as well. No Adoji issues for you to worry about. I think this team is in a very strong position. So yeah, like I said, no questions there. I think that's a really good team. Really good team. Just realised you guys weren't able to see that because I was on the wrong screen. What a numpty. What a numpty I was. I've triple captain Watkins. Can you find me? Sorry, Kerry. Oh, I already did you, Frazzles. I already did you. I'll just hold out until Adoji. Finally, Chelsea are playing winnable football. Yeah, they are. John's made his changes. He's gone a Dinger. I just can't say his name. Adinga and Watkins in for the -4. I hope it pays off, John. Hopefully so, mate. Hopefully he picks up some goals and you can come back to next week's stream and go, thank you, Tom. You are a legend. But more likely it's probably going to be you're an absolute, just... But yeah, that's usually how these things go. Anytime I give advice, it usually just goes horribly, doesn't it? Still no news on Adoji. Hopefully we can get some before the deadline, but, there's still like 57 minutes. What do you think the best front three is this week? Probably involves Haaland, Watkins, and maybe Darwin. That would probably be arguably the best front three you could have this week. Maybe Nketiah in there as well. Now captaincy, Martinelli or Haaland or Salah. Salah had a rest and hard to go against him. Yeah, I think I'd just go with Salah for captaincy, unless you really, really wanted to back Watkins all the way and go with him. But I think I'd probably still lean more towards Salah, John. Can you answer this question? Saka and Watkins for Son and Alvarez for a -4. I just don't think I would want to take Son out. I don't think I'd want to take Son out, to be honest, Chris. He seems like he is the key danger man for Spurs, and I just don't think I would. I just don't think I would want to take him out, to be honest. But yeah. But yes, we are down in the water today. We're going to be finishing the first glass. There's dregs in there, but we've got another one. Should I switch Maddison for Saka? Yeah, that's the way I'm currently leaning, and that's my thought process at the moment. So that's all the way that I would go. Who would you take for a keeper? On a wild card or just like in general for this week? Alvarez or Solanke on a free hit? I'd probably go Solanke. What about Haaland? He can just score a brace at any time. Oh, pardon me. I think he can, but I think Salah, the form that he's in, I think going again, he's the top predicted point scorer for this week as well. So I would go for Salah. In general, I've got Edison and Onana. Ooh, probably play Edison. I think City are more likely to keep a clean sheet. I wouldn't waste a free transfer on a goalkeeper though. Watkins and Tsimikas for Alvarez and Adoji for a -4. I think, yeah, that's fine. Is it worth a -4? It hit Trippier, Gabriel, James Ward-Prowse and Saka. Probably not. I don't think James Ward-Prowse is worth that minus. Watkins captain, I definitely think he could be an option this week. Sorry, why I haven't done the one I sent this one my mate, so you haven't replied on the one I've looked back. Oh, shit. Let's have a look then. Someone else has probably sent me their team as well. Here we go. It's Frazzles. With his triple captain, Watkins. It's looking pretty strong. I'd probably play João Pedro over Pedro and Neto, would be my suggestion. I think Newcastle are very good defensively, and it arguably goes against Kieran Trippier. So I'd probably swap João Pedro for Neto. That would be the change that I would make there. Frazzles. That would be the change that I would make there. Is Adoji playing? Still haven't had any news on Adoji at the moment. Best captain for this week? Probably Salah. Where do I send my team? Send it me on Twitter at FPLTom_. Go to my pin tweet. Leave the team there. And if you want to see it on the YouTube stream as well, if you are on TikTok, we are live on YouTube as well. Come over to there. You get to see my team on screen right now. And when I review your teams as well, you will get to see that live on the YouTube stream. So if you want to come over at FPLTom on YouTube as well, help me at 2,500 subs as well, which would be appreciated. But if you're enjoying it on TikTok, follow us on there. Drop a like. All good stuff. Start Neto or Taylor? I'd probably still go Neto. Charlie Taylor's a 1-point magnet merchant, isn't he? Still no news yet. Jamie sent his team. I did my team on Twitter. 2 free transfers for Saka and Matoma. Nice. Should I take a hit switch Haaland for Salah? Probably not. I don't think that's worth it. Bowen or Cole Palmer to afford Watkins? Bowen or Cole Palmer? I think Bowen's probably the better out of the two, if that's what you mean. Goalkeeper for a free hit. I'm thinking about Radu since Neto is injured. Yeah, I think Radu, but then apparently, what's his name? Mark Travers has been recalled from loan, which would either suggest Neto's injury is a little bit more long-term, and they're worried about that, or he's going to come and play. A little bit weird. Captain Watkins or Salah? I'm currently leaning more towards Salah, but I could 100% see why you potentially would want to go for Watkins as well. Is Saka essential or should I keep Bowen? No, I'd keep Bowen. I don't think Saka's essential. It's a really good fixture. I think after game week 11 he will start to become more essential with Spurs' fixtures kind of tailing off a little bit. Adingra or João Pedro? Probably João Pedro. He's got penalties as well. Ange better start a Doji or he'll be getting a stern letter from myself. I imagine quite a lot of FPL managers will be giving him a stern letter as well. I meant keep Bowen or switch him for Cole Palmer to afford Watkins. It depends whether or not you think going for Cole Palmer is going to mean that Watkins and him are going to score more over the next kind of 4 to 5 game weeks, or you think Bowen. Like, the fixtures for West Ham are really good as well. They haven't looked like overly impressive, but Bowen has still been one of the standout players during that run. Odegaard in this week or Gordon using my free hit? Probably go Odegaard if you're on a free hit. Maddison and Adoji or Matoma and Saliba / Gabriel / other option. I'd probably go Matoma and Gabriel over Maddison and Adoji. Right, let's have a look at some early team news. See if we've got else. What else have you sent me, Kerry? Let's have a look. -4 Tomiyasu needs a lot of help. I think this is fine. Like, there's not really much you can do, to be honest. You've got all the key magnets for this week. You're captaining Watkins. Tomiyasu's probably going to play, so yeah, it's fine. Is what it is. Let's have a look. Any early team news kicking about? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it, which is a shame. Hopefully we can get some, though. There's about 50 minutes till the deadline, so make sure you have got your team in. And then we'll see if Adoji's playing. Is Adoji okay? No. Apparently, it's one of them, isn't it? We're still waiting for early team news from Adoji. Hopefully we can get some before the deadline. Sell Anderson to Gabriel or Tsimikas? Probably not. Like, I know this week Anderson's fixtures aren't great, but I think longer term Crystal Palace 11 to 14 have some really good defensive fixtures. So I would argue that I'd probably keep Anderson, but his price is quite high now. So you definitely could get some good value out of him and go to maybe Gabriel if you wanted to do that. Rate my team. I sent it to you. Let's take a look, mate. Let's take a look. If I haven't got it, though, I do apologise. Some of them don't filter through, which is annoying, but it is what it is. We've done these, done these, done these, done these, done these. Done this one, done this one. Done. Is it Moxie, I'm guessing? Maybe that's you on Twitter. He's asked me which one would I prefer. Areola, Gabriel, Tsimikas, Cash, Saka, Matoma, Son, Salah, Palmer, Haaland, Watkins, and then Taylor and Barmer, Gahey. Or there's this one with Areola, Tsimikas. What's the difference? I think I prefer the one with Haaland. Not gonna lie, I think I prefer the one with Haaland to the one on the left. At Andrew Dacey is the one me. Let's have a look. Can't see it yet, mate. Which, here it is. Here it is. I've got it. I've got it, Andrew. Don't worry, mate. We've got Areola, you've got Tsimikas, Cash, Trippier, Maddison, Son, Salah, Saka, Gordon, Julian Alvarez, and Watkins. Obviously, the bench is looking a little bit sparse for this week. Have you got any transfers left? Let me know if you've got any transfers left, Andrew. If you want to send me a team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, and I will be reviewing those live on the YouTube stream as well, so if you want to come over. So you've got no free transfers, that's fine. I think the team is in a really good place this week, mate, to be honest. Salah captain, I rate. The rest of the team is looking ridiculously strong, so yeah. Top 3 captains probably would be Salah, Watkins, and Haaland, like that. Maybe Saka as a 4th, but I feel like the other ones have more explosivity about their game. More explosivity. Right, I hope I've done everybody's team that has sent them to me. If I haven't, I do apologise. Like, it does get a little bit mental when people start sending me teams, but we try our best. We do try our best. Lucas has sent me his team here. I don't think I've done Lucas's team. This is his free hit. He's got Becker, Saliba, Trippier, Cash, Saka, Son, Bowen, Salah, Diaby, Watkins, and Ketia. Nice little shout for this week. I probably would just replace the goalkeeper in case Becker doesn't play, but more than likely he is. Maybe just go and get Turner just as a precautionary. But the rest of this team, It's looking filthy for a free hit team, I'm not going to lie. So I think you've done a good job there. Do think you've done a good job there. Jake got fatty. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that from you, mate. Some quite interesting Brighton players to go for this week. Ansu Fati being one of them as well. So I'm all for that. If you want to send me a team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet, and I will review it live on the TikTok and YouTube stream. But you get to see it live on the YouTube stream, which is better. So if you want to come over to that, come over to that. But he's gone through Ansu Fati as our Jake. So good lad. Good lad. What is my Twitter? It's on screen right now, at FPLTom_ if you want to go send me your teams. Send me your teams. Right, let's start on the second water. Delicious. Delicious little bit of water. Let's have a scout round of any early team news. Jeez, I forgot how long these deadlines are when they go on. That lorry is really annoying and noisy. I do apologise if you could hear that. It just sounds like it's braking, but I don't know what his brakes are made of. Like, just, Jesus. Get a bit of WD-40 on that. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Jota has a good record versus Forest, so I'm going to put him in, I reckon. Do you reckon he's going to play, though? I don't think he's going to play. I think it's going to be Diaz, Nunes and Salah, personally. How would you get Haaland in for Alvarez based on my team? I cannot remember off the top of my head. You're probably going to have to potentially take one of Son or Salah out. More people are sending me a team. I agree with your point there, John. He does seem very calm and relaxed when he is on the board. So, you know, got that Barca pedigree as well about him. So definitely a really good pick if you did want to go for him. Cannon Fodder and Connor have both sent me their teams as well on Twitter. So let's take a look if either one of these has come in. Connor's has come in. Happy days. Areola, Simicast, Cash, Trippier, Son, Salah, Bowen, Gordon, Diaby, Haaland and Watkins. I can't see your bench, but for me, I think that team is pretty strong, Connor. I'm not going to lie. I think you've gone with the right captain, in my personal opinion, but the rest of the team looking filthily strong. There's a good bit of variation going off in the game at the moment, and I'm liking it. I am liking it. Cannon Fodder, I couldn't see your team. It didn't pop up as a notification, so if you want to send me that again, or just write it out in the chat, yeah, whichever one you want to do. TR Slews as well has sent me his team. Does get a little bit messy, this. I already did this team. Come on. I already did this one. Get out of here with your spam. Don't be spamming me. We're not about that. Right, let's have a quick check. Make sure that we've done everybody's team. Exactly, we did your team already. Harry, whether or not you're in the YouTube, TikTok, whatever, your team has appeared, so I can see that one. Maybe a Cannon Fodder. If you're not. It's actually Vexy in the YouTube chat. This is Harry. Areola, Simicast, Trippier, Powell, Adoji, Son, Gordon, Salah, Maddison, Haaland, Watkins, Palmer on the bench, Reguilon and Obama. I think this team is fine, but you said you've got Harry with Maddison photo. But yeah, I think this team's fine. Yeah, no questions. Obviously the Adoji thing, but you got Palmer to cover there if Adoji isn't fit for tonight. But the rest of the team is looking fine. It is looking fine. What do you mean you didn't get it? I sent it you. Already reviewed this one, but we'll review it again just for you. I think this is fine. Like, genuinely, I don't think there's anything that I would change, to be honest, with this team. Obviously gone for Salah captain. But yeah, let's try and find Cannon Fodder's team. I do apologise, Cannon Fodder, if it doesn't appear. Like, sometimes it is just a bit temperamental. And it just, yeah, it doesn't like it. So I do apologise. Here it is. Hey, sent mine again. Have your stream in the background, obviously. Love that. Love that, mate. Appreciate it. Looks really good. Looks really cool. Areola, Burn, Cash, Adoji, Neto, Diaby, Son, Salah, Maddison, Watkins, Haaland. Did you say you have 2 free transfers? Okay, you've got Watkins, you've got Haaland. Realistically, if we get news on Adoji, maybe replace Adoji for Gabriel. You could already do that this week as well if you really wanted to. That could be a shout that you potentially could go for. Other than that, I don't think there'd be anything that I'd be dying to do. So maybe rather than burn the transfer, just do Adoji to Gabriel. That would be my suggestion. FPL Cam sent me his team as well. 0.1 in the bank, 2 free transfers. Let's take a look at this. How much is Miguel Almiron these days? Maybe replace Miguel Almiron with a Brighton player would be my suggestion. Again, Adoji for Gabriel if you just wanted to take 2 into next week and keep Almiron. Those would be my suggestions, FPL Cam. Those would be my suggestions, mate. Got about 40 minutes till the deadline as well, so do keep your questions coming in, guys. These streams are quite long and lengthy, but yeah, they do knack you out a little bit. No worries, pal. No worries. I'm glad we got there in the end. Josh is debating whether or not to have Salah and Watkins at the moment. I have Salah captain. I'm leaning more towards Salah. I think that's the way I'm going to stick. I think even if Adoji isn't out for a while, the Spurs fixtures are going to tail away now. So I definitely think, that I think in the longer run, the fixtures for Gabriel are going to look a lot better and you will pick up more points. I'm gonna be bold and say Gabriel over the next 5 to 6 picks up more points than Adoji. Anyone know Jensen or Palmer? Probably Palmer. Do I put Bailey in instead of Matoma? No. I think Diaby is still going to play. I think Bailey is more likely to start coming off the bench, though, a little bit sooner, especially if Diaby as well isn't picking up the points. Best differentials? That's difficult. Probably maybe Adingra, Ansu Fati, João Pedro would probably be the ones. Darwin Núñez, maybe. Some players like that. Maybe Luca Digne, if you can't get to Matty Cash. Those are a few potential... Gavin, don't listen to this guy. He always ruins my game weeks. Cheers, Gavin. Thank you for coming back. Appreciate it. I ruin everyone's game weeks. I do genuinely ruin everyone's game weeks. Oh, Adoji has travelled with the squad. Where have you got this news, Josh? Where have you got this news? Because that is quite positive. Is it on Twitter? Let's find it. Let's have a scout, shall we? Sounds like a skill issue. Having a scan through here. Where have you got this news from, Josh, about he was seen getting on the coach? Is it on Twitter anywhere that I can find it? Apparently, according to Josh, the Adoji has travelled. So we are trying to find out if that is reliable and any kind of reliable source on that. Am I a cricket fan? Not really. I watch the Ashes. I used to go T20 with my dad and stuff, but I'm not a huge cricket fan. Apparently the news is fake. Sweet. Cheers. Excellent. I have Trippier, Start, Burn, or Decore. I probably... Ooh, who has Decore? I'd probably go Burn. Back the Newcastle. Spent my season changing price rises. Now I'm screwed with a great team. 1.1 mil in the bank, though. I mean, you can pull it back. It's still early in the season. This is it. It's still game week 10. There's still 28 game weeks to go. You could very easily pull it back if you play your chips right at the right time. Get the right players in. Get a little bit of lucky with captaincy some weeks as well. Fati or Matoma? I'd probably lean more towards Matoma. Out of these 4, which do I bench? Adoji, Cash, Trent, or Trippier? Probably Adoji, especially surrounding he might not be fit, so he'd probably be the one that I would bench. Keep Diaby, maybe give Watkins in for Haaland. Henry, if you want to send me a team, send it me on Twitter at FPLTom_. Leave it under my pinned tweet. And yeah. Start Gusto or a Doji. Again, I'd probably be leaning more towards starting Gusto. It is all dependent on whether or not we do get early team news. Sell Haaland, I'm personally not, but again, that's all down to you and your own team, whether or not you need that budget, that money to do some cool stuff. There is ways that you can get around him. But yeah, you think Neto will continue his good form and get a return against Newcastle? It's going to be difficult, isn't it, against Newcastle to kind of keep up the form that he's displayed so far this season. So I think I'm going to say no. Becker, Areola, Gabriel Simicas, Cash, Lascelles, Gahey, Saka, Salah, Son, Matoma, Palmer, João Pedro, Watkins, Haaland. Who's captain? Who's benched? Should I sell Neto for Gordon? We'll get onto that question in a minute. I think I'd probably stick with Neto rather than selling him for Gordon. Who to captain? You probably wanting maybe Salah, Watkins, Haaland, one of those players. And then benching wise, probably would bench Lascelles, Gahey, and Palmer out of all of those. FPL Gundo tweeted a pic of a Doji getting on the bus. Ooh. Your team could easily score 100 points this game week. I bloody hope so. I bloody hope it could. I could do with that. Cheers, Henry. I'll go check that out in a minute. It will be reviewed live on the YouTube stream as well. So if you do want to come over to that, the chat moves a little bit slower so I can read all your questions there. And like I said, if you want to see my team as well, it's on the YouTube stream. So come over to there. Spencer's asked, Captain Watkins or Haaland? I'd potentially be leaning more towards Watkins than Haaland for this week. Would you swap Son for Salah? Is there a way where you can have both? Apparently that pick is a troll, so we're not going to go and look at that. We're going to see if there's any other early team news though kicking about. Here's Henry's team though. Let's review that quickly. I know he's in the TikTok chat. Areola, Cash, Van der Veen, Saliba, Maddison, Matoma, Odegaard, Saka, Haaland, and Darwin and Watkins. Bailey on the bench, big call. Other than that, though, I don't think there's any changes that I potentially would make there, Henry. I think, you've gone ballsy with the Watkins captain. No Salah is potentially going to be an issue, but, you've got Darwin, so maybe he covers him off. But I think your team's in a pretty good place, to be honest, Henry. Play Darwin or Bruno? I'd probably play Darwin this week. Thoughts on Son captain? Palace aren't that bad at the back. I know they got absolutely demolished by Newcastle, but yeah, it is what it is. Apparently this photo is fake as well. This is the one that's on screen right now on the YouTube. It's a Doji getting off the bus, and it is a tour bus. So yeah, it's fake. It's fake. So we're still waiting for some early team news for a Doji, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. We will wait and see what happens. I'm going with Saka this week. No point in taking a hit, right? It depends. It depends. I think Saka's a really good option though this week, so yeah. How do I get my team reviewed? If you want to send it me on Twitter at FPLTom_. Leave it on under my pinned post and I'll review it there. Jesus, this stream today is taking it out of me. Whew. About 30 minutes till the deadline, guys. So do keep your questions coming in. Send me your teams at FPLTom_ on Twitter. Hopefully we can get some early team news around a Doji. And yeah, all good stuff like that. What Prem team do I support? I don't actually support a Prem team. But I probably, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be like Brighton or Brentford. I think they run really successfully and really well. So yeah. Can you do any other platform than Twitter? If you want to leave it in the TikTok chat or type it out in my YouTube chat, that's the only other places that I can see teams. But yeah. Adam's asked, I need a lot of help with my team. Can I send it you on Twitter? Of course you can, Adam. At FPLTom_. Leave it under my pinned post and I will try to help you out as best as I can. Guessing I'm a Dortmund supporter? Nope. I support the team that side. That is Mansfield Town of League 2. That is the team I support. That is originally where I'm from as well. Don't live in Mansfield anymore, which is not really a shame, is it, for anyone? But yeah, I just like Dortmund stuff. It's really cool. I do want to go to a game at some point as well. Obviously, if you've been around on the channel for a while, you saw that we went to Copenhagen, which was amazing, and we want to try and do more European trips like that. So yeah, hopefully we can go to Dortmund. Katie's back. Is there any news on Adoji starting? Not currently. We've had a troll photo of him, and that's been about it, but nothing yet. What's the Twitter? At FPLTom_. Leave it under my pinned tweet, and I will try and answer it as best I can. Who's winning the El Clasico tomorrow? It's going to be Real Madrid. And Jude Bellingham's going to score. Yeah, that's fine, Duo Skill. If you want to send me your team on Twitter, that's the place to send it. Let's have a look. We've got 3 notifications. Cool. So we've got Ollie Lyons. I hope I'm pronouncing that. What do you think is the best, Kufal or Adoji? I think I would go for... I think I'd put Adoji in. Katie, to be honest, to answer that question for you. Who do I bench? Ollie Lyons has asked. Simicast, Digne, Kufal, Salah, Son, Diaby, Gordon, Foster, Darwin. I think you've got it the right way, to be honest, mate. I think you do have it the right way. Bruno could easily pick up a penalty, but I think I maybe would go Adoji over Kufal. But again, we're stretching. We are stretching. If you sent it in the TikTok chat, Joe, I do apologise because it moves quite quick. Like, I'm going to struggle to see it. So maybe come over to the YouTube one and type it in there. Just that little bit easier for me. FPL Buddies has sent me his team or her team. Areola, Trippier, Cash, Gabriel, Gordon, Madison, Neto, Son, Salah, Watkins, Haaland, Taylor, Archer, Kabore. I like this team. I do like this team. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I'd change. Obviously, a lot of form players in here. Got a good solid back line as well. Double Spurs, Watkins in there, Salah captain. No questions I would make and no changes I would make there as well. Adoji or Kufal, I probably am leaning more towards Adoji, to be honest. That is the way that I'm going. Do keep the likes coming in for the TikTok stream as well, as it does help to push it out to more people, which is what we want. It's great. It is great. So do keep those likes coming in, guys, and it is massively appreciated. Let's have a look if anyone else has sent me their teams. Is Diaby a good captaincy choice? I think not. With Bailey starting to slap as well a little bit, I do think that potentially we could see him come off early. So I don't think he's a great captaincy shout. Let's have a look. See if anyone else is kicking about. Adam, I know you're in the TikTok chat or the YouTube chat. He has 0.3 million in the bank, 2 free transfers, thinking Mbuemo, Madison and Alvarez out for Watkins, Saka and Adingra. Alright, I can get on board with that. Adam, I think that's a great thing to do, to be honest. So I'd go for that. I'm all for that, Adam. Do it. Do it, mate. Balls to the walls. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Saka points. Enjoy the Watkins points and the Adingra ones. So far, no Adoji news either at the moment. No Adoji news. No worries, Duo Skill. Thank you for coming by. Adam, you are in the YouTube chat. I've just replied to you. I think go for that -4, mate. Enjoy it. Have a little bit of fun. The guy who's benched Bruno is a menace. Oh dear. Adingra or Matoma? I probably would lean more towards Matoma than Adingra. But yeah, that's the way that I'd go for that one. Hopefully we can start getting some early team news. 28 minutes till the deadline. It would be nice if we could get some. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But I haven't seen any, so it's not looking great. Bowen or Matoma with 0.9 million in the bank. That is a difficult one. I think I would go... I think I'd go Matoma. Bowen's more likely to play more 90s. I'd say that. But I feel Matoma has that slight edge on explosivity and fixtures. So I'd probably go for Matoma. I think Adringa's going to do well. Trust the process, Adam. Enjoy it. Hopefully it works out for you, mate. Hopefully it does. Bowen to Matoma right now? Probably not. I think I'd stick with Bowen. Haaland and Neto to Alvarez and Saka for a -4. Nah, I don't think I'd do that. Joe sent me his team. Areola, Cash, Burn, Gabriel, Son, Maddison, Neto, Salah, Almiron, Haaland, Watkins, captain, bench, Turner, Adoji, Kabore. I think that's a strong team. No issues there, Joe, to be honest, mate. If you've got any transfers, let me know. Unfortunately, I can't see teams if you sent me them on Instagram. Yeah, I just don't have access to it. Like, it's not logged in on my computer, and my phone is doing the TikTok, so I can't see Instagram teams, unfortunately. So if you want to type them out or send them to me on Twitter at FPLTom_, and I will try and review them before the end of the stream. But yeah. Alvarez versus United or João Pedro for Fulham just for this game week. Then if it's just for this game week, I would go for João Pedro. What is my Twitter? It's at FPLTom_. Leave it in my pinned tweet. Or if you want to go into the bio on Twitter, go through my YouTube. It will bring you to this stream, and then there'll be a link for it there if you can't be asked typing it out. Who will you captain this week? I've gone for Salah captain. If you want to go for other players, you know, Watkins is a great shout. Haaland, Son. There's so many good picks this week. Who am I playing in my head-to-head? I think you know who I'm playing in my head-to-head, don't you, mate? Come on. There's gonna be a bit of beef in the flat between me and Sean because we're playing each other this week. But we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Hopefully, mate, it's just a nice, friendly affair. You know what I mean? It won't be. I've got 2 free transfers with 0.3. Any suggestions? Maybe... if you've got 2 free transfers, maybe take Adoji out if we get news that he's not fit. Or you could take him out regardless anyway and bring in a Crystal Palace defender for their good fixtures coming up, rather than you burn in a transfer. Then it puts you in a good place for the next few weeks. That would be my suggestion there. How many points have I got altogether? I think it was like 5, 6, something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Someone else has sent me their team. My computer was just making weird noises. Someone else has sent me their team. Let's take a look at that. Lucas, I can see you in the TikTok chat. Verbergen, Rogue, Shaw, Cash, Konza, Diaby, Maddison, Saka, Son captain, Haaland. Isak is not playing, so he would be the player that you would have to transfer out this week. Obviously, if you can get to Watkins, great. Oh, you can't because you've already got triple. That is a sticky wicket. But yeah, Isak is injured, so he would be the player that you're going to have to replace this week. Maybe go Julian Alvarez, or maybe just bench him and upgrade Gibbs White to maybe like a Matoma, something like that. How do you send my team? If you want to go to my Twitter at FPLTom_, or if you want to go to the bio in my TikTok profile, go to the YouTube. It'll bring you to the stream, and then you can just access it. It'll be in the description there if you want to do it that way. Is it essential to have Trippier in a free hit? I'd probably say so. I think he would be a player that I would be looking to have. But yeah, Lucas, if you're still kicking around, Isak is injured. SLO0Z_ sent me their team. We're not going to assume genders. It is a free hit team. They've got Raya, Cash, Gabriel, Pedporo, Gordon, Salah, Saka, Son, João Pedro, Haaland, and Watkins. Strong team. Strong team for a free hit. I rate it. I can get on board with that. Let's have a scan of any potential early team news while we're on Twitter. Doesn't look like we're going to get any, which is a bit frustrating. Very frustrating. Probably go Gahey, Joe. I think both Anderson and Gahey are about the same in terms of points and expected points, so I'll probably do that. Maddison, Matoma, Bowen, or Son with Matoma and a Dinger. I'd probably go Maddison and Matoma and Bowen. I think that's just a better set rather than having double Brighton there. I am male. Cool. We don't want to assume genders though. You know. It's a bit messed up if we do in the world that we live in. We don't want to get cancelled. Not now, anyway. Gabriel or Adoji, I probably lean more towards Gabriel. Captain Saka or Watkins, I would probably lean more towards Watkins. Saka, Porro, Maddison or Alvarez on the bench. I'd probably bench Alvarez. Chat just flew by then. Son to Saka, good shout. Not in my personal opinion, no. Diaby, Salah, Saka, Mitoma, Bowen. Who do I leave out? That is difficult. That is really difficult. Oh, Jesus. Maybe Mitoma out of all those, but Jesus, that is difficult. That is a really stacked midfield, I'm not going to lie. Adingra or Palmer, I'd probably go Adingra. No Adoji update as of yet. Cheers for the advice, mate. Class as always. No worries. No worries, Joe. Anytime. Anyone wants any of my advice, you're always welcome to it. Always welcome to it. If you are on the TikTok chat and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, we will be reviewing teams as always up until the deadline at FPLTom_. So if you want to go send me your team, send it there. Yes, Kufal just has illness, apparently, according to Fantasy Football Scout. They're a really good site to use and a really good Twitter kind of, they do all the press conferences and all the quotes, and that's what it said there. So yeah. But yeah, if you want to come over, if you're on TikTok and want to come over to the YouTube stream, go to the bio, click it there, come over to the YouTube stream. The chat does move a little bit slower so I can answer all of your questions. You can see my team live on screen as well, which is always great to see. And yeah, some good stuff. Good stuff. I think with about 20 minutes to go, let's end the poll on the YouTube stream. You've been voting for the best captain for this game week, and it's going to be tight, you know. It's going to be tight. 127 votes. Salah is currently taking it with 53% of the vote. So if you are a little bit unsure who to potentially captain, the chat has decided that Salah is the best option for this week. That's where I'm going as well. Then Watkins with 22%, then Haaland with 17%, and then 6% have gone for other as well. So I definitely think going for Salah is a really good shout this week. But there's a lot of good captaincy options this week, and I think whichever way you go, and if it goes right or wrong, I think you've still made the best and arguably the positive decision. Just have a little bit of fun with it this week. There's definitely some really good captaincy options. So yeah, just have some fun with it. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. Do you reckon it's worth selling Maddison Saka? Yes, I do. I do think that is worth selling. Not Son, but I do think Maddison is worth selling Saka, in my personal opinion. Right, we've got about 19 minutes till the deadline. Let's have a check, see if there's any early team news kind of kicking about. Not really. It's not looking great, is it, to be honest? Hopefully we can get something. Hopefully. Still no Adoji news. That is the big question for this game week. But yeah, still no Adoji news as at the moment, which is a bit frustrating. But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys. We will try to answer as many as we possibly can. I think just do Adoji to Gabriel to be safe. I genuinely think that. It's a really good fixture for Gabriel, and the long-term fixture is really good for Arsenal as well. So I think that makes sense. Because I think otherwise you're burning a transfer, aren't you, Jeff? So I think that is the wiser decision. That is the wiser decision to do. Oh, Jesus. This stream has been going on forever. It honestly feels like it's been going on forever, to be honest. I forgot how long like these 2.5 hour ones are, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying talking to you guys. That's the main thing. We've answered lots of your guys' questions as well, which is always great to see. Hopefully it does lead to you doing better in the game as well, which is always what you want to do. If you want to send me a team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter. But yeah. Yeah, I'd just do it, Jeff. But yeah, if you want to send me a team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet, and I will try and review it before the deadline. If you want to see it on YouTube as well, that is the best place to come over and watch the stream as well. Maddison and Neto to Saka and Adingra. I think that's a good shout. I do think that is a good shout. Do keep your questions coming in, guys, ahead of the deadline. We've got about 15 minutes. Got about 15 minutes till the deadline. I'll stay live for about 5 to 10 minutes post deadline as well, just to answer some generic questions, football questions, whatever you want to ask me. Maybe you got some stuff going off in your life and you'd like someone to kind of ask at you. Well, there we are. Josh's team is fully locked in now. No changes. Salah captain this week. I think you've gone the right way, Josh. Hopefully it pays off for me and you both. We are going Salah captain if you are on the TikTok stream and can't see the chat. But yeah, hopefully we can get some early team news around a Doji. Still waiting. If you do see anything on Twitter, let me know, because it would be good to see that. I can get Salah in with free transfers. I have 2 free transfers. What do I do? Depends who you're taking out, FPL Aguero. Let me know who you're planning on taking out and in to get there. And then we'll kind of weigh it up and see if it is potentially worth doing for you. Let's have a look. Let's have a scan of Twitter. See if we're getting any early team news. It's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good. By the way, these jumpers from Classic Football Shirts, filthy. Didn't mean to click on the website. But yeah, I really want one of these Christmas jumpers. But I'm not paying £40. I'm not paying £40 for a jumper I'm probably going to wear for like 2 minutes. A little bit of news there. Reece James is doing well, but still not ready to start. So if you've got Gusto, I think he'll be fine for 1 more week. Yeah, still not seeing anything about a Doji, but hopefully we get something, like just a snippet, just any sort of news would be great, but it's not looking likely, is it? So I think we're going to play with Charlie Taylor, the 1-point maestro. Hey Jamie, how you doing, man? I've just seen you in the team. Tagged you in my team on Twitter. We'll go and take a look at that jammy footy. Jammy footy? Yeah, I was reading that right. No worries, Josh. We all get scammed sometimes by early information. It happens to the best of us. Maguire and Son or Trippier and Diaby? I'd probably lean more towards Maguire and Son, to be honest. I'm going to just start a Doji and risk it. Why not? Why not? I think that's the way I might go. Gary McDivitt, I'm guessing that's you. How do I get Salah in there? I've got 2 subs. Maybe you're in my YouTube one. How do I get Salah in there? You're probably going to have to take like Alvarez down to a 4.5. And then maybe like Son or Maddison out. It's probably the way that you're going to have to do it. Or Son out. Yeah, it's going to be something like that. It's not kind of clean and easy. But it's probably going to revolve around Julian Alvarez down to a 4.5. And then Son down. And then maybe even you'd have to do Maddison down or Bowen down as well to get there. So that's not easy. Maddison or Porro? Probably more Maddison. Saw or Antonio? Probably more towards Antonio. More towards Antonio is the way that I would lean. What's cracking off in the YouTube chat? Considering Bruno to Salah, Foden to Adingra, and Buemo to Palmer. I think that's an option, a potential option, but I think then you would have 2 potentially risky, cheaper players. But if you feel like Salah is gonna outscore Bruno and Foden and Buemo over kind of the next 5-6 game weeks, then do it. That would be my advice for that one. Still no Adoji news. Will Antonio score? Of course he will. Of course he will. He's Mr. Big Dick himself, isn't he? Haaland plus Diaby to Salah plus Nunez / Alvarez. No, I don't think that's worth it, Ethan. What's the best midfielder combo? Maddison, Matoma, Bowen, Son, Matoma, Adinga, Son, Bowen, Atinga. I'd probably go number 3 out of all those ones. Adoji and Maddison to Gabriel and Saka. I think I'd do that cannon fodder. I can get Salah in by Bruno to Salah, Foden to Adinga, Palmer. Yeah, again, like I said, it is all worth whether or not you think Salah and the other players are going to outscore those in the next 5 to 6 game weeks to justify taking that minus and whether or not it's worth it. Maddison and Alvarez or Watkins and Matoma. I'd probably go Watkins and Matoma Still no Adoji news at the current time, which is a little bit frustrating. It is a little bit frustrating. But hey-ho, it is what it is. I feel like if he is injured, they're not going to risk him. So I'm thinking I'm going to put him in my team. We're going to put him in. Because I feel like if he's not fully fit, they're not even going to bother risking him, are they? So we're going to do that. We're going to put him in and hope for the best. Is starting Højlund over Alvarez dumb? I'm a United fan. I mean, if you're backing United, then yeah. But Alvarez has been very decent, hasn't he, to be honest? Højlund, not so much in the Premier League, so yeah. Apparently fine to play. Again, I need to see some justification. Someone on Twitter, please, just put everyone out of their misery. It's not hard, is it? It's not hard. It's not hard. Let's have a look. Still no early team news, which is devastating. It honestly is devastating. Oh, Jesus. Just fling my mouse around the desk. Should I start Alvarez or Matoma? I'd probably lean more towards Matoma, to be honest. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. 10 minutes till the FPL deadline. Make sure to keep your questions coming in. If you do enjoy the content that you see either on the TikTok or on the YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe as well. Like, comment, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. It helps me out. And on YouTube, we're close to hitting 2,500. So if we could do that within the next month or so, it would be absolutely incredible. Antonio's scoring. Of course he is. Of course he is. He's going to score, Loz. He's going to score. He is going to score. Keep the questions coming in, like I said, guys. 10 minutes. Hopefully, we can get some early team news around Adoji ahead of tonight's game against Crystal Palace. Let me know if you're planning on watching that game. I think I might watch it. Might watch it, chill out, go to Morrison's, get some good food, chill out with my flatmate and watch the game. But we'll see. We'll see. Depends. We're against each other in head-to-head this week. It could go horribly wrong. Loz, don't come for me if he ghosts. That's on you. That's on you. It ain't on me. It's on you. All right? But yeah, that's what a lot of people do. I tell them to do something, and then the next thing, they're in the next stream giving me absolute grief. Absolute grief. But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys, ahead of the deadline. We've got about 9 minutes. What can I say? It is all on you. It is all on you, Loz. I appreciate the likes as well. It does push it out to more people, which is great. It is great to see. Still no early team news, which is annoying. It is annoying. But yeah, we'll keep looking. We'll keep looking. Who to start? Van der Veen, Romero, Burn. Pick two. I'd probably go Romero and Burn out of those two. Oh, thanks for the follow as well, Loz. Appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Like I said, if you do enjoy the content, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and give me a follow on TikTok as well. Just absolute goats. You know, some solid people in the stream as well. As always, Josh, Luke made an appearance, Jeff, Katie in the TikTok ones, Loz has been absolutely smashing it as well. You know, lots of goats of these streams as well, which is what we always like to see. Regular people. Is Adoji out? We don't know. We have had no early team news yet, so we're all a little bit up in the air. Flecken or Turner? I back Gandhi to do something, so I'd go for Flecken in the early kickoff, Alex. But yeah, do keep your likes coming in, guys. Appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing over the past few weeks as well. Massively appreciated by you all. So yeah, thank you very much. Madison and Burn for Saka and Simicast. Yeah, I'd do that. Doji's been stressing me, mate. He's been stressing me as well, to be honest. Oh, John, another goat as well in the YouTube stream. Regular of these streams and the Wednesday preview streams as well. So appreciate that one, mate. But yeah, good luck to you, mate, as well. Good luck to you. Bench Burn or a Dinger? I probably would bench Burn. Fulham at home's a really good fixture for Brighton. So yeah, I'd back that. Probably do that. Salah or Saka captain? I'd probably Probably lean more towards Salah. I wanted to cap Watkins this week, but he played more minutes last night than I would have, so I'm going to go with Salah after all. Yeah, I think that's why probably a lot of people are going towards Salah, Jamie. Watkins did play quite a lot of minutes last week, but Villa really needed that win. I still think he's going to, perform quite well against Luton, but maybe we might see him come off early if they dominate in that game. Thoughts on Cash Captain? It's not something I personally would be looking to do, but watch it work out. Like, if you've got a gut feeling that Cash is going to absolutely slap it this week, go for it. Still no Adoji news. We will have one final check. Morris to Darwin for a -4 and bench Bruno, or start Bruno and no transfer. I'd probably just start Bruno and no transfer, and then I'd probably go Zinchenko over Colwell. Sorry. I have Madison. I don't think I need Sarr to be a bit risky having 3 Spurs as they lose. Yeah, agreed. Captain Salah or Watkins? I'm leaning more towards Salah. But again, whichever. Hopefully rank gains for all. The ones that system down and close. Come on, servers. Whoops. Let's take a look. See if we've got any early team news as well. Kicking around, flying around. Still no early team news, which is gutting. It's honestly devastating. Thoughts on Szoboszlai as a differential? Nah, I think Diaz is a big enough differential. Same with Nunes. It's proper stressing on whether to go for Kufal or Adoji. The thing is, right, if Adoji isn't fully fit, they're not going to bring him on at any point in the game, are they? So I reckon it's one of them. And it's whether or not he's recovered from an illness in a couple of days. You probably would argue, yes, he would recover from that illness. But, like, it's honestly so difficult to judge. Yeah, Bruno will probably somehow get a pen in it. I get it. I don't think Adoji will come on for 10 minutes, though. I really don't think he is going to come on. But yeah. Juan He-Chan or Alvarez, I just can't decide. I'd probably go Alvarez. Newcastle are in really good form at the moment, so yeah, I'd probably go that way. 5 minutes till the deadline, guys. Make sure you are getting your team locked in. Apparently the servers are being a bit gammy as well, so do make sure you're getting your team in. It fully is, Katie. It's full of one of them, like, you go one way, the other player pops up. It's honestly just one of them where it could honestly go either way. Should I sell Matoma for Palmer? Definitely not. The fixtures coming up for Brighton are incredible. I'd keep him. It's just one of them. Right, let's have a final scan of Twitter. Nice, appreciate that. Doesn't look like we have any early team news coming in, which is going to be a bit of a disaster. I've put a Doji in and just hoping he does something. Let's just see what happens. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got about 3 minutes till the deadline does pass, so do make sure you're getting your teams locked in as well. We will stay live for about 5-10 minutes, answer any of your guys' questions as well. Yeah, if you've got any general football questions or you want to just ask me a general question as well, that's all fine. Pope or Allison? I'd probably go Allison. Have a good night, Tom. You too. Thank you for coming to today's stream. Appreciate it. Just put in Pedro for Isaac. I think that's a good move. I brought Madison for 7 point now and 9. He's 8.1. But when I sell, I only get 7.9. What 8? So you only get it's per 0.2 that they go up. It's really weird. There'll be an article somewhere about prices as well. So yeah. Oh, 100%, Katie. There's definitely going to be early team news once the deadline's passed, and it's going to be painful when Adoji's not playing or he's on the bench. That could be the worst one. I hope he's either not in the team or playing. If he's on the bench, there's always that risk, isn't there? Good luck this weekend. Good luck to you, mate. Good luck to everyone in the chat as well. Hopefully it is a positive one. I've gone for a 4-2 win for City over United on Sunday as well. I'm hoping there's goals in that game. Hopefully it's a good game as well. Last call, any Adoji news? Let's have a quick final check of Twitter. See if there's any. No. Oh, FPL Harry's gone for Matoma. I love it. I do love it. I need your help quickly. Gabriel or Porro? I'd probably go Gabriel. On one of the first few weeks, I had Chilwell and he came on for the last minute. Oh my god, yeah, I remember those like 2 weeks where Chilwell came on, got a yellow. It was absolutely devastating, wasn't it? So annoying sometimes this game. But we love it. We're here every week. I tried to make content off it somehow. Any Adoji news? No, it doesn't look like we're going to get any Adoji news ahead of the deadline. There's about a minute. So do make sure your team is locked in place for this game week. Doesn't look like we're going to get any early team news, which is devastating. But it's one of them, isn't it? It is one of them. We're not going to get any early team news. So like I said, make sure your team is locked in ahead of the Game Week 10 deadline. It's pretty much going to pass like any second now, to be honest. No Adoji news, so unfortunately we didn't get any. So it's a little bit stinky. Why are you getting aired? Bro, if the chat's moving too quick, I can't help it. Sometimes that's the way it rolls. Bench Alvarez or Adoji? I'd probably bench Adoji. There you go. If you were in the YouTube chat, I do apologise, mate, and you were getting aired. I do apologise. Yeah. Bench Adoji. Apologies. The deadline has now officially passed, guys. If I do refresh the screen, yeah, there we go. It has passed. So that is the FPL deadline done. Nearly just closed the whole YouTube stream down. But yeah, I will stay live for about 5 to 10 minutes answering any of your guys' questions, whether or not it's football or FPL related. How many points did I get last week? I got 72. It was disappointing, to be honest. But yeah, is what it is. See you later tomorrow on Twitter. Great to have discovered your channel today. Thank you for all the insights. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. That's what these streams are all about. Discovering me, answering your guys' questions. It's all good stuff, and we appreciate doing these every single week. So yeah. Can't wait for that inevitable red arrow, says Cannon Fodder. 100% with you there, mate. It's going to happen. I'm already on one, and the game week's not even started because I took a -4. Manchester Derby be very home-sided in the last few games. Yeah, true. Josh got 90 last week as well. Incredible. Impressive. Nice. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We will stay live for about 5 to 10 minutes post-deadline. And yeah, answer any questions that you guys have. Maybe it's about future planning for your team. Maybe it's anything else. But yeah, just keep them coming in, and we will try to answer as many as possible. Like I said, if you have enjoyed any of the content that you've seen on YouTube or on TikTok today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. It does mean the absolute world to me. Been stressing over the FPL the other day, going to the gym now to de-stress. The gym is incredible. I hope you enjoy it. Good luck to you, Katie, as well for this week. Thank you for your continued support in the TikTok chat. It means the absolute world to me, so thank you very much. But yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys. Hopefully, on the TikTok front, we will have a kind of video coming up where we will be going to Leeds tomorrow. Me and Sean are going to go to Leeds, and we're going to try and film with some people and ask them, just some general football questions and try and give them a tenner, because we tried yesterday. People didn't want £10. I was literally going up to people in the street going like, excuse me, would you like to win £10? Every person we asked, we must have asked about 7, 8 people, and every single one went, nah, not really. Like, I know I don't have the most approachable face, but like, come on. So hopefully going to a football game tomorrow is going to help that. Get some people in. And yeah. Scottish Baguette, I captain Cunha. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Oh dearie me. Cunha Hall incoming. 100%. 100%. You too, mate. Thank you for your support as well in today's stream. Absolutely means the world to me. We will stay live for a few more minutes. So do get your questions coming in, guys. We will try to answer as many as possible. People are loving the Cunha Hall. Swift or Gibbs? I don't know what you mean by that, mate. Genuinely don't know what you mean by that. Is Adoji starting? Don't know. Didn't get any early team news, so we'll just have to wait and see. Something will get leaked before the teams come out in about half an hour, but we'll wait and see. We'll see what's happening. But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys. We'll stay alive for about 5 to 6 more minutes. See what happens. See if anything good happens. You know. Any questions as well, like I said, football or FPL related, do keep them coming in. And yeah, but yeah. Spurs got Chelsea next week and Arsenal got Newcastle next week. And we got Luton. Big chance to get it up the table. 100%, 100%. Liverpool aren't doing too bad either this season. Obviously, Mo seems to be back where he was like the season prior as well. So, yeah. What should I order for dinner? Thinking Wagamama's. Oh, that is a solid shout. What should you go to Wagga's order? Like, I have a Vigatsu every single time. Like, every single time you get there, you look at the menu and go, I might have something different today. Then you don't. You have the same items every single time. But yeah, let me know what the Wagga's order is going to be, because I'm interested now and I'm starving as well. I've captained Salah. How about you? Yep, exact same. I've captained Salah for this game week. That is the way that we've gone. So yeah. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Never had one. Josh, get yourself down to Wagamama's. It is incredible, mate. It is incredible. Not going to lie. It is absolutely incredible. So make sure you get yourself down there. Oh, it's just Bigatsu or Katsu curry. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. And I just twatted the mic like an idiot. Like an idiot. Right, I think we're going to call it there, guys. I don't think anything else is going to happen. Make sure to subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Thank you for your continued supports in the stream. It honestly means the absolute world to me. We will be back with some videos tomorrow as well on the YouTube channel. Hopefully some TikTok stuff is coming in the future as well. So look out for all that stuff. We will be live on Wednesday for the preview stream and then next Saturday morning for the deadline stream for Game Week 11. But thank you very much for everyone who has watched today. Massively appreciate all your support and good luck this game week.